All right, baby.
I'm waiting. I don't see it live on the screen yet, so we'll wait, right?
We're in.
They say they see me. I don't see myself on the I just see the comments. You guys see me, though? Okay.
We're in there.
All right. Good to go?
We're good to go,
All right,
baby.
so we're going to listen a little different tonight. We're going to do it like we're recording the episode. You guys are going to be part of the episode, so we're going to start it off like we start off every recap. It's going to be a little crazy tonight because, as promised, we got a couple of drinks going, and you guys are going to be helping us come up with the questions for the house guests. We're going to talk about the episode. We're going to do it all. It's going to get crazy. But first...
And it's all live, so they're uncut, baby. Take us into it, brother.
That's right. Welcome to the Winner Circle. I'm Derrick.
And I'm Cody.
And we are doing our first live stream for the Winner Circle. We did one earlier as a test, and now we are going for it. And crazy night tonight. What'd you think of the finale, Cody?
It was a good finale. It was justified. It was a little bit of a snooze. If I'm being honest, this is live. We're sharing it. Exactly how we feel. It was a little bit of a snooze. We kind of saw how it was going to go. You know what I mean? We were seeing everything play out to what we ultimately knew was going to happen. I was just sitting there and like hoping for like something that was going to make me like jump out of my seat, like an Ozza winning of the final HOH. But she essentially confirmed that it would have been the same. It would have been the same.
It took all. I'm glad that was confirmed afterwards. Not before. And by the way, Cody, because I love you and we're just starting, you might want to switch your mic over to your Rode mic because right now you're coming through your laptop. We are live.
Wait a minute. Uh-oh.
I can kind of hear you.
Are you on your end? I can't change anything on the cog wheel right now. It won't let me. Edit.
So on your end, you are on your headset. You're on your headset right now. If you can't change, it's not a huge deal.
You see it pop. Everybody's seeing it's popping up. But I know on the Streamlabs, it's coming through this because I'm picking it up on this. But
so don't worry about it. If it's on the Streamlabs, don't worry about it. We'll go with that. That's
no, it's saying desktop microphone, and it's it is my Rode. So the only issue might be is that I'm right on top of it. So I need to stay back.
Yeah, it is what it is. We're all good. So I agree with you.
Hold on, wait. Let's backtrack because I'm recording now. So let's go right back to the beginning. See, this is what you guys are seeing. This is us live. This is how we do it live, but except for the fact that you're now watching it happen. So take us into the intro, bro, for the beginning of this video.
We know it's we can even do it. Listen, we'll do a little different. Welcome to Winner Circle. I'm Derrick.
And I'm Cody.
That's right. And we are covering the finale tonight. It's a live stream. There's going to be a lot of this. This is a kind of behind the scenes look. This is exactly what we wanted, to be honest with you. So this is perfect. We're going to be going through it. I think it's going to be a great night. So just to give you a little tease of what we're doing, we kind of teased it on the on social media. We're going to have Christian joining us. We're going to have Whitney joining us. We're going to have Travis joining us. We're going to have Sharon Tharp, who's the kind of the head person at Us Weekly when it comes to Big Brother. She's been doing it for many years. She's interviewed us. She puts out a lot of content regarding Big Brother. We really should be supportive of her because she's what gives the show that extra edge. So we're going to have her on. We might have a couple other guests. We're working on it. We're not going to announce them just in case they don't come. How about the person that we talked about earlier? Any luck with that?
No luck with that. No response.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, it's a super busy person that I don't necessarily know. Maybe is like looking at a phone. I know that he's going on tour pretty soon. And so you know how it goes, like with tour coming up.
But listen, we're on for 2.5 hours. So it could pop right in. And so we'll talk for a couple. We'll recap it for about 15, 20 minutes. Then we'll bring the first house guest in. They're all standing by. They want to talk to you guys. We got over 1.4 thousand people in here right now. So not mad about it.
Yeah.
Take us off, Cody. Start off the show. It's 2 hours, a lot of fluff. Like you said, snooze fest. We can answer questions tonight. We can have you guys weigh in. But how do you want to start off as far as the recap of tonight's episode about what we start with competitions?
It started off, well, you know what? You take us into the recap. I got to mute some things on my end. I got to mute some things on my end. So you take us through the recap while I do that.
So we had part 2. Obviously, we know Ozza won part 2. Xavier had won part 1. And so going into it, we know that it's going to be an Ozza versus Xavier part 3. There was a lot of recap tonight about Derrick F. and his relationship with Ozza. And Derrick F. almost, could have cost himself an opportunity to win the game. And the reason I say that is because he literally had Azah in his back pocket as far as if she had won, she was going to take him. And he basically insulted her. He basically belittled her game, regardless of what game he played. Let's take that out of the equation for a second. He belittled her game, basically said she was carried there. And his reasoning for wanting to take Xavier was he just felt like the best player should be there. So because of his own doing, she started thinking about things. And she's like, not only is he disrespectful to me in the way he talked to me, but he does make a valid point where if I can't win, I want the best person left to win. And, I don't think it's going out on a limb here saying the best person left in that house was Xavier. So she actually goes to Derrick F., gives him a taste of his own medicine and says, hey, listen, buddy, actually, you make a great point. You did insult me, but you said no offense. You weren't you were just spitting facts. I'm going to spit some facts to you. If I win, I'm going to take Xavier as well.
Yeah.
Derrick F. was like, what's going on? Wait, that's not how this works.
Wait, I thought I was allowed to say whatever I want to you, and you just kind of take it and don't really respond any other way to me. I thought, I got to be honest with you, I was loving Azah this entire episode. I loved her response to Julie. And it made me just have such a resounding respect for her because through all of it, she still kept it classy. She still kind of was true to who she is. And a lot of people, obviously I put out a tweet, right? I put out a tweet and was like, hey, I have so much respect for Azah. And obviously I got some people saying, oh yeah, because she's doing what you're doing, you idiot. Ha ha ha. But the underlying feeling for me was she just had a bigger respect for the game and for the winner. And I love that she had that. And it was so true to who she was throughout the entire game. But again, I will say this, with all the respect in the world that I have for Azah, it just showed that she kind of was here less to play the game of Big Brother and more so to just kind of have the experience. Because you go to win, right? You go to win. And I can say it from both sides of the spectrum. The first time, I went there to get to the final two, and that was a win for me. But the last time, it was, I'm going to win by any means necessary. And so we saw that with Azah. But again, I love Azah. I have a lot of respect for Azah. I had a lot more respect for her when she said, I respected Xavier's, because if she came out and was like, you know what, I would have stuck to Derrick F., and I would have taken Derrick F. because of my friendship, I would have been like, girl, he was just crushing you. He was crushing you. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know what the deal was with Derrick F. It was like the same thing that he just did to Kylan the week before. She was kind of having the conversation and he reacted the same way. And it's like, you just had someone do it to you. You probably went through similar emotions as she did. And now we're kind of putting that on her. And quite frankly, I would have rather seen her win some money than Derrick F.
Yeah, no, listen, I totally get it. And it's one of those things where I think for Derrick, it's just a lack of self-awareness. A lack of self-awareness, a lack of understanding what's going on around him. We're going to get into his speech tonight. We're going to get into some of the claims that he made. I know the chat's going crazy about it. I will say this, Cody, because again, we're doing this live.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the stream. I got a panel up where I can see the stream. Some people are asking that maybe there's a sound, I guess. I can't.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. That's why I told you to take it off. So I was in muting the alert box. And now I'm seeing the alerts. You're seeing the alerts come up. So the people that just subscribed.
We're gonna call people out for that because we want, we're trying to grow the Winner Circle. We're trying to grow the channel. That's why we're doing this. So if we haven't already said it, yes, we're gonna turn off notifications so you're not getting buzzed in your ear. But we would appreciate you if you guys subscribe to the channel, turn your notifications on because we're doing Survivor. We're going to do Celebrity Big Brother. We're going to also be covering just kind of pop culture, social issues. We're going to be covering it all. Cody and I talk on the reg, and we're just going to record it now. And, we're going to see what your guys' feedback is. We're building a community. We're having a lot of fun doing it. So we're just going to keep ramping it up, and we would love if you were part of it. So the best way to do that is, again, subscribe, turn your notifications on.
Yeah, notifications being on is the biggest thing, because I was saying it to Chrissy. I was like, we were testing stuff out earlier. We had a lot of people jump in earlier, and Chrissy was like, I didn't see that you guys went live. And I was like, well, tell me if your notifications are on. I said it to her as I was running out the door, and she was like, my notifications aren't on. That's why I wasn't going live. But some people that are coming in, I do want to make sure we're reading the people that are coming in. Thank you so much for $4.99. Mickey Joe, y'all are my favorite duo ever. Much respect to Cody for taking Enzo to the end. Do you feel like loyalty or game is the most important in the end?
I'm going to let you hit this one. And by the way, we just got Karen just got a big one. Thank you so much, Karen. We really appreciate it. We're going to keep you updated all season long for sure. We're going to keep it going. But Cody, I'm going to let you answer that question because I think you're more suited to answer it than I am because of your past.
Do I feel like loyalty or game? So it's kind of like a double-edged sword for me because loyalty was so important to me the first time. But the game is ultimately the most important thing.
Thank you. Thank you.
What are you doing if you're not going there for the game and for the money? Because let me tell you this. And Derrick obviously can attest to this because we've both won the game. We both have won the game. That money it makes a huge impact on your life. It's a huge impact on your life. Whether it's, it doesn't matter what phase of your life you're in, what age you are, that money makes a huge impact on the life that you will get to live after making that kind of money in an instant. And not in an instant, you're spending 3 months in the house, right? But you come out and you are walking away with that money sets you in a position in your life that there's not much you can do unless you're already making millions and millions of dollars, where $500,000 is kind of what you're doing in your trades in a day, which is like the 0.01% of people in this world. That money is so important that the game has to come first. And if the game is coming first, you kind of are playing with a different mindset, right? You're playing with a different mindset if you're playing with the game first and loyalty or relationships or emotions second. And so that's what I'll say to that. And I've been on both sides of it. Now, what I also will say is I'll never, ever go back and change my decision on 16.
Thank you.
So I think I hit both, but what do you think?
I mean, I can't say much because I've said it in the past. Like, people always said, like, if the roles were reversed, would I have taken you? And I'll be completely transparent like I've always been. If I thought that I still had a chance at winning because I played a good game and I was going to take you 100%. And in that particular situation, I felt like I had a very good chance at winning and I could honor our deal. So there was no doubt. I've sworn my kids, I've done it all. Yeah. I was going to take you. And so that's what I've always said. Not a lot of people believe it, but it's the truth. Thank you again to Megs. Now, that said, if I was in a position where I 100% knew that by taking you, there was zero chance of me winning. I know with you were like on the fence, you were counting the votes, but I think it's fair to say that you thought maybe there's a shot. I don't know exactly. I know I'm on an uphill battle here, but did you know 100% like there was no shot of you winning? You can be honest.
How can you know 100%? But I looked at the votes, and obviously I looked at the votes, and the ones that I thought I had were Zach, Donnie, and Christine. And so I'm like, okay. Christine, obviously, Donnie, who had told me multiple times, I'm voting for you. It doesn't matter who you're sitting against. I'm voting for you. He told me from the beginning of the season. And Zach was like my boy. I was super tight with him on a personal level. We were up late and all that stuff. And so I was like, I think those are votes. So that's 3. You need 5. So obviously I didn't count myself completely out, but I was going through a lot of the other ones. I was like, oh, I don't know. Like, I genuinely thought that Hayden was going to vote with Nicole no matter what. And I thought Nicole was going to you. And so I didn't think, obviously, I was like completely out, but I knew it was going to be very tough. And so that's why for me in that first time, it wasn't about the game. It was more about the loyalty, And so you see the difference of the two. You see the difference of the two.
Fair enough. So I hope that answers your question. So back into it, because we want to get through this. We got house guests. I'm texting them as we're talking. I'm emailing them the link to come in the room. So we want to get to them. We're sure you didn't come here to hear about Big Brother 16, but we obviously wanted to answer that question. So Azza wins part 2. They have the little tiff between Derrick F and Azza.
Right.
Xavier's loving this, right? She tells him, I'm going to take you if I win. He's like,
the smile.
Yeah. Yep. He's like, perfect. No problem there. So I think we're ready to go right into the final 3 competitions.
Let's go right into it because they went pretty quick through it too, which I loved.
They did. Well, they knew they had a lot to cover after. We'll get to. Don't let me forget Jacob's question when we get into this.
Jacob, yeah, thank you so much for the donation, Jacob, and we will definitely hit on that question.
We got you, brother. So, Azza and Xavier go head to head, and it ends up being 7-8. And I got to tell you, I'll be the first to admit it. I thought it was going to be an absolute slaughter.
Oh, totally.
Hats off to Azza. She crushed it. That's a really tough competition when you're under pressure and you know it could be a $750,000 competition. And hats off to Xavier, too, for going out there and doing what Cody did and basically not leaving any room to beat him. And it was a really... I kind of knew as soon as she got the first one wrong, I knew it was over. Because Xavier was like literally picking the cards out before they even finished. The guy's a stud. He knew this. He was one of the best players this season. You can't just pick it up last week. And that's why I say I was like pleasantly surprised with Azza because, you know, I thought it was going to be a little bit more lopsided, but it was interesting. And I was on the tips of my toes because if Xavier had gotten one wrong, we might have went to a tiebreaker and then it's anybody's game.
And then, there's no way you can tell who's confident. There's no way, because you and I both went to a tiebreaker twice. And it is very difficult to really go into those answers with confidence, right? And so, but what I will say is that Azza was that close because Xavier had the wrong answer initially. When he was doing the final part to that HOH, he had the wrong answer and then switched it out, and then she had the wrong answer. And so it was tough because once I saw that, I agree with you. I was like, I don't think Azza's going to get one back here. And so I just felt, watching after the second question and after the third question and the fourth one, how Xavier was snagging the answers right away. I was like, yeah, he's not going to get one wrong. And then obviously he went 8 for 8. And when you do that, when you go 8 for 8, you deserve it. You deserve it. There's not.
Are you saying that because you did that? Are you saying that because you did?
No, I'm talking about in the individual competition, not like the whole season as a whole. You know what I mean? Like he went 8 for 8. The only way you could compete, because like even if the other person goes 8 for 8, then it's a toss up. So it's like who really deserved the comp? Because like, you know, between you and me, when we did the guess, it's like it's a number guess, and we're not really getting it down like that close. So going 8 for 8 was pretty impressive.
No, it really was. It was a good final HOH. Obviously, Xavier wins it, and now we know. Now we know that Xavier is going to be deciding who is going to the final 2 with him, and it's really no surprise. He gets up there. I think Derrick F, again, you know, he rode the whole final 2. We were together from the beginning, and, you know, we all knew he was going to take him. And I really did feel like maybe Xavier was telling somewhat of the truth as far as he wanted to honor that deal. But Xavier, I'm going to ask you this question when we interview tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Try to get in there.
You guys know he's getting that question.
Yeah, Derrick F, you took Derrick F because you knew you could beat him. And Azza, I thought Azza was graceful the whole time. Like, such a well put together person, just always... the way she speaks, you could tell she's sincere. Yeah. But not much of a surprise. Xavier decides to evict Azza. He takes Derrick F to final 2. Yeah. Any surprise for you on that?
No, not a surprise at all. I think that, you know, Xavier knew exactly what he was getting with Derrick F. He, you know, because Xavier was spending a lot of time with Azza. I'm sure there could have been a point like Derrick F was throwing out final 2s in the beginning of the game like it was like candy on Halloween. Like he went to Frenchie with the final 2. He went to Xavier. I think he went to Kylan. He was going to a ton of people with final 2s. He probably threw one at Brittany also. You know, him and Azza had one going to the end. Like Derrick F was just throwing them out. And if Xavier really knew, which I do think Xavier did, he knew Derrick F was probably doing that to multiple people. So he could have easily went the other route of, hey, man, I know you're kind of tossing out final 2s to everybody, so I'm going to go with Azza. But he stuck with it because he knew exactly what he was going to get, and that was a 9-0 unanimous vote for Xavier. So well done. Kudos to him. 9-0. Thank you for doing it the season right after me. I appreciate it. And don't even give me like one season to just kind of carry that through. Thank you for showing me up like the season after. Not only did you take the most winnings, you took the 9-0 from me too. It's just, you just took it all, Xavier.
He took my record tonight too, by the way.
Which was what?
I had the most winnings of any Big Brother player, 575. Even players who played twice smoked me, gone. Yeah. Thanks, Xavier. Appreciate it. I want to hit Jacob's question. Yeah. And then we have Christian on standby. Christian, obviously you guys all know Christian. Yep. He was featured a lot on the show tonight. So what we're going to do is answer this question. You're going to see a quick break come up because we got to bring Christian into the room, and then we're going to be right back in probably a couple minutes. But we're going to take questions. We're going to ask Christian some questions. We're going to have you guys ask him some questions. We'll take some from the room. But let's get to Jacobs first. So he says, much love to you both. Do you think the cookout will change how the game looks in the future, whether from a casting standpoint or how players think? Okay. I said this the other day. I could say it again. Casting needed to be changed, and it needed to be more diverse. And there was a correction this year, a warranted correction. And I do think that from a casting standpoint, this will be the norm, as it should be. So I think this is what we're going to see going forward, is a more diverse cast. And not only diverse in the sense of color, I'm hoping diverse in the sense of culture and also age, backgrounds. Maybe not always people who are social media influencers, things like that. I think you can get people who maybe don't know the show completely, but have a really interesting background that would be fun to see in the Big Brother house. So I do think the casting change is here to stay. As far as the future of how, gameplay is concerned, how players think, what do you think about that?
I think this season has kind of like, has really changed how, I think this season, social media, a lot of things as a whole has affected now what the future of Big Brother is going to look like. And the reason why I say that is because although what the cookout did is historic and was an incredible feat, and also like take everything out of it, it's a very difficult thing to do, to start the game with 6 people and end the game with those same 6 people never turning on each other. That has never been done before. But now what comes along with that is going to be what is going in people's heads, right? What is going to go in somebody's heads? Are they going to immediately walk into this house and think, is the same thing as a cookout going to happen? Now, the dilemma with that is what society will view that person as. If that person walks into the house and goes, well, I don't know, is there another cookout? They can be pegged something that could be devastating to their career moving forward. They could be crushed on social media. And what we're talking about there is that person will be called a racist. If you go in the house and you just peg, I think all the black people are working together, you will be deemed a racist. And so now that adds this huge dilemma into this game where people are going to go in, and you see it on the past seasons. Like they said it today, all the guys like laugh together, like, ha, yeah, all the guys always stick together. It's like, ha, 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 the guys always stick together. And that's why you had a lot of girls come in constantly and be like, we want to have an all-girls alliance. We want to have a strong all-girl alliance. We need to have that, which then causes people to speculate and go, well, are all the girls working together? People get away with that. Now you have an alliance that is made up of all the people of color or all the black people in the house. And so now they were all working together, loyal to each other, which is not easy to do. So for everybody that has difference of opinions, they still stuck it out. Whatever their goal was, whatever their mission was, they stuck out what is very difficult to do. But now what it looks like in future seasons is there's always that doubt in a contestant's head. And so what I hope happens is if that doubt is in contestants' heads, they're not crucified on the outside of the house for thinking something that was now just shown on a season. And don't give me the whole, well, it happened once, so now it allows them to do it. That's how Big Brother works. If something happens on a season, that's how future seasons play off of each other. You see some people go in and try to, create gameplay off of past greats. Like people go in and go, I want to play like Derrick Levasseur. People go in and say, I want to do what the cookout did. And so now when people mention the cookout, you can't help but notice what the cookout was, what their mission was, and think, our future house guest going to do that. And so I think it's definitely going to change. But then you have people that are going to go in and think, oh, well, I maybe I shouldn't say it because if I'm wrong, I could be called a racist. So it's definitely going to put a huge wrench in this game moving forward. That's what I think.
It's not even just being called a racist or whatever. I just think the attention to what society is viewing, how America is viewing you because of the power of social media, it's an overall influence on the game regardless, whether you're going to call out someone, not. I think that's why the game is getting less dramatic, although we did have a moment with Kyle and Xavier this year, and it's more so people are thinking about brand deals, social media,
right?
What the opportunities are out there afterwards. So
can I say one thing really quickly, because I'm seeing some stuff in the chat, and everybody constantly has this statement and go, weren't you in an all-white alliance, Cody? There was an all-white alliance that I was in, not based off of only us being white, and there was also an alliance that I was in with Davon and Bailey, which was something that I was very true to and something that I was not going to target myself. So other people outside of my multiple alliances that I had were targeting people within the other alliances I had. And that's what's Big Brother is all about. So for everybody that says, oh, Cody, you were in an all-white alliance last year, that's null and void. I didn't walk into that alliance saying, I'm going to strictly be in this alliance because I want to see all white people in this. I was very tight with Bailey. I wanted to work with Bailey to the end. Davon, Bailey, Enzo, and I.
You guys had a relationship with Bailey before the show, right?
So that is that's a really, it doesn't really hold any weight to me. And to be honest, you need to reflect on yourself a little bit to just kind of go tit for tat with that. Because it's really not, it doesn't really hold the same weight. But I do understand where it comes from, because it comes from a place where people were very frustrated with what Derrick said, how it was a correction, that there was never a black winner, which in my opinion is shocking. It's bizarre, right? You look at that and you're like, how has that not happened? So I understand where it comes from on both sides, guys, but it shouldn't be tit for tat, because we didn't go into it like that. So I don't like when people really use that towards me. But I wanted to say that because it's been something that's been said a lot on Twitter, and now it's a chance for me to really answer that. So now I'll let you continue. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. I got Chris. No. Listen, man, it's your. That's something that only you can address and the people in that group can address. I'm gonna rapid fire a couple of the questions from people that are supporting the channel. We're seeing you. I actually was screenshotting them with my phone, so I didn't lose them. So I'm gonna hit the first one that came in, and then we're gonna get Christian on. So the first one was from Lyric Wolf. He said, "I've loved listening to the podcast every week. Thank you for the support, and I love how insightful you guys are in your analysis each week. So thank you." Hoping for some possible analysis on previous players' games. I've seen that a lot. You know, it's going to be tough because we want to keep doing new content, but I do think there's an opportunity where we can go back and maybe watch a season, maybe do like a side thing where we watch a season together with the people on here, and we kind of, a season that maybe we haven't watched, and we analyze certain players. So maybe down for that. Does that sound good?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, the next one was a good question, and it's actually an easy answer. I want to hit it quick. This one was from Zachary.
Yeah.
Zachary says, I know the game just ended, but Derrick, how do you compare your game with Xavier's, especially strategically? You know, I think it's similar in a lot of ways. I do. I think he played a low-key game, wasn't the most exciting. He was surgical, right? He went in there. He knew what he had to do. He made moves when he needed to, and when he didn't, he sat back and watched the show. And that's kind of what I did. It's not always the most fascinating thing, and I think that's why a lot of people maybe didn't want to see him win, kind of like on my season.
Yeah.
But overall, I do think there's definitely some comparisons there. He had a different element. Every season is different. They had a little bit of, different twist when having to work as teams. He also was trying to make sure that the cookout got to the final six. So different variables there, but I do see similarities. And we're going to, talk to Xavier tonight, so I'm interested to hear what he had to say. There was one more, right? Go ahead, hit it if you want.
No. I was just saying about, Xavier. I'm excited to see how Xavier feels. I'm excited to see how, we get to talk to America's favorite tonight. I'm very excited to see what Tiffany has to say. Because
we're going to get to talk to her tonight, guys, so get your questions ready.
Yeah, if you guys have listened to the Winner Circle, our podcast and our episodes, you'll know that I felt the cookout had a great cause, and they all put this cause before their own game. And I knew it was going to be at the expense of one of two players. It was either going to be Xavier or it was going to be Tiffany. And unfortunately, it was Tiffany. And Tiffany, rightfully so, is viewed as one of the best players, not only of this season. She, in my opinion, is one of the better, if not one of the best players that has played this game. Strategy-wise, she did good in competition. She was an excellent Big Brother player. And so for me, I'm excited to see how Tiffany feels about the whole, Tiffany did. I mean, I know we understand the bigger cause and all that, but do you feel like it was at your expense and that you were the one that could have been sitting in the final two chairs if it wasn't for the cookout? Because Tiffany could have been there in the final two without the cookout.
Yeah, and I will say, because people are saying in the chat, and it's true, I said it in the Us Weekly interview I just did, Xavier was a great player, but in my opinion, the better strategist was Tiffany. So people are saying, oh, Tiffany carried Xavier. I don't know if I'd go to that extent, but I know a lot of people feel that way. Not for me personally, but I didn't watch a lot of feeds.
Yeah.
But I do think overall, Tiffany was the head of the snake as far as strategy was concerned, both, conducting operations within the cookout and then the duo strategy as well. So, and I said it right in the article. I thought she was a better strategist. One more, and then we'll get Christian.
Yeah.
Hey, Derrick and Cody. This is from Anthony. Hey, Derrick and Cody. Asking you two questions is part of my ops plan. As part of the ops plan, how do you get the jury to respect getting them out of the game instead of being bitter? Are goodbye messages too risky in case of a battle back? I'll let you answer that, and then we'll get Christian.
I think the best way, there's two people that did this incredibly. Derrick did it incredibly, and now I feel like Xavier did it incredible as well. And listen to what was said about Xavier at the jury roundtable. He always made people feel like he made everybody feel good. And it could be understandable. It's understandable when you play the game and you have to do things like cut somebody for the game. But if you make them feel good, that'll carry weight in the jury house. I didn't do that great. So you can talk about that, Derrick, because you did it better than anybody else has done it. Your jury management was one of the best. And that going back in the second time, I was like, I need jury management similar to Derrick's. Yeah, I knew, you know.
Go ahead.
But I knew, so I used the DRs and the goodbye messages, and I'll say it really quickly. It's because I kind of knew it was kind of like it was a very educated guess of, we're in a pandemic right now. I don't think anybody leaves this house and comes back. So I chose to use the goodbye messages, which isn't always the greatest thing because of that risk of a buyback.
Yeah, no, I think, guys, if you're going to be future house guests, it's not what you do, it's how you make them feel. And the way you make them feel, all you can do is play the best game, play an ethical game to the best of your ability. Don't make it personal. Play Big Brother the way it's meant to be played. And ultimately, if the jury members respect the game of Big Brother, they're going to vote for the best player. Mm-hmm. We saw Kylan do it tonight, right? You know, we know deep down he's not happy with Xavier right now. Xavier did play Big Brother, but he stabbed him in the back. And Xavier still voted for the best player. So all you can do is play the best game, the cleanest game you can, and hope that the jury members honor and respect Big Brother. So, Cody, you're going to have to set this up for I'm on the phone with Christian right now.
I'm like, guys, listen, hey, everybody in here, I just want to say this is absolutely insane. Nothing of what we thought. Over 2,100 people are in here. And guys, listen, I saw the chat going off. I saw people disagreeing with me when I was saying what I was saying. I have no problem with it. We don't mind. If we wanted to keep it a certain way, we wouldn't have came live. But we appreciate every single person's in here, whether you agree with us, whether you like us, whether you don't like us.
And when they don't agree, I'm just going to keep this going.
We appreciate. And also, if you are of age and you are 21, this is the Winner Circle after party. So I have my red wine.
Cheers. Cheers to a finale in the books.
Cheers to a historic season. Cheers to that.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do, Cody, stop me if I'm wrong. We're going to put a screen up for like 2 seconds so we can talk to Christian, get him in here. We're going to make it as quick as possible. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk a little bit, but I'm going to be looking at the questions over to my left. You guys can ask Christian some questions. And I don't know if he's going to be willing to divulge something, but he told me something earlier today. I don't want to throw him under the bus. I'll ask him before we go live. But you want to transition to that screen? I'm sending him the link right now. Yeah. He has the link.
So he has a link. We will be right back. It should take only 2 minutes. He'll be in here. I already have the other scene set up. So do not go anywhere. We are bringing Christian, the first person or the last person out before jury. He got to see the entire season. So I'm excited to hear what he has to say about what unfolded. So we will be right back, guys. Do not go anywhere. All right, everyone, we are back, and we have Christian on the line with us. Everybody, welcome Christian to the Winner Circle after party.
What's good, everybody? Thanks for having me again. It's been a while since I've seen you guys.
Yeah. Nah, dude, we loved our interview with you pre-jury. You know, we thought you were a great player, and you were really humble in the interview. Really well put together guy, great for the show, and actually you got a lot of shine tonight on this finale. They went to you looking like a stud up there. First off, what did you think of the finale tonight? What's your takeaway from it? You had a really good little monologue you gave there, but I mean it was great. You had a really good speech, and I thought it was well received.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean she came off first thing. What do I think about the cookout? And I mean, the cookout to me is also known as one of the greatest Big Brother alliances in Big Brother history.
Agreed.
So, I mean, it was easy to say all good things about them because I of course made it bigger. I made it bigger than the show itself, and that's just the fact that if people come together, they can achieve something bigger than themselves, and that's what the cookout proved.
Yeah, man, you nailed it. And even Xavier, who's in the middle of fighting, competing for 750. Julie's like, you have anything to add to that? And he's like, nah, Christian pretty much nailed that one. I got nothing.
Yeah. So
it felt good that he had the same mindset as me, and I'm glad that I perceived it because, of course, we didn't get to speak about it. In the house, I didn't know it existed. I found out from you guys actually. So
yeah, that's right. We did.
You were the ones that told me first.
Yeah, we couldn't drop it to anybody else. They wouldn't really let us. But then I think we saw that there must have been somebody in the interviewing process with the jury house. Yeah. I don't really know. But so give us what was your takeaway from the season? Watching it, being that close to the jury house. What was it like being on the outside and watching this season unfold?
Right, so obviously I have a completely different experience than the rest of the jurors. I get to watch things unravel, and something that I realized that I missed so much in the house was, the night that the night before Alyssa was evicted, we missed huge conversations because we all felt like we were safe. And then you realize, now you get to see the conversations that you missed. You actually get to see it happening, and you see different parts of the house where people interact. And you are just completely unaware to the things that go on. So the fact that you get every single angle outside the house, you don't miss a conversation, and you have a better understanding of how things happen and why they happen, which you completely miss when you're in the house.
Well, we got a question from Amanda, and it's a great question. We should ask everybody this question. Amanda, nicely done. So, Christian, what did you think about the Kyle and Xavier altercation and Kylan doubling down on it tonight? What, Christian, do you think about that whole situation?
Kylan,
be honest.
He's got to learn to shut his mouth sometimes. And I was shaking my head only because Julie gave him an opportunity to apologize. And the second he opened his mouth, I'm sorry, we're not the first words that came out of his mouth.
No, you knew there was going to be an apology, bro.
I was like, man, dude, you have to apologize. I just didn't like the fact that he was like, I'm sorry you perceived it that way. It wasn't him. It was everybody. He needs to apologize. He needs to accept the fact that he messed up and he took it too far, and he hasn't done that yet, and I'm a little disappointed that he hasn't.
So we talked about it a little bit, D, and we mentioned this, which is exactly what you just kind of said. It's not what you meant. It's how the person took it. And X obviously took it
personal.
You know what I mean? Took it very personal. And then the question from Julie, he was asked about it a lot. But you know what? He stuck to what he felt was his truth, and I think he's gonna hear about it.
He's gonna have to go back and watch again because he kept telling Xavier, "You're gonna have to watch it." We all watched it. I watched it probably 10, 15 times. It's exactly what Xavier, how he interpreted it, and I think Xavier.
He got it right.
I'm hoping Kylan goes back and watches it for the first time, because I can tell you this: they didn't in jury. Well, they might have showed him some of it, but they definitely didn't show him the whole episode and how it was, cut. They probably showed him a segment because he's like, "Oh, we went back and watched it." I don't think they would do that.
But I was very confused by that.
Yeah, Cody,
he's definitely
never, right?
How would he have watched it? Like, I saw the clips.
No.
I was like, wait, what? Who's showing you the
No,
clips?
it doesn't make any sense.
Who are you getting fired now? They showed you clips.
Totally. He definitely is not seeing what literally everybody else is seeing, and he just has to admit that he's wrong and apologize for the words that came out of his mouth. He could say, at this point, it was an emotional moment, and you get heated. I take it back. It's not really what I meant, but he didn't. He doubled down on it, and it's going to be hard to come back from that.
I think when he sees how it was viewed, he'll have a better understanding.
Yeah, I hope so.
I hope.
He's got it.
I hope so.
Christian, I want to give you the floor here because we talked earlier, and I think everyone saw you tonight, and they're assuming that you're at home watching from your computer like everybody else. But that's not the case now, is it, Christian?
Where are you, Christian?
I am at a house, but it's not my house.
Well played.
I am in my friend's house in LA, so I'm actually the only pre-juror member that flew out to LA that is going to stay up all night until I get a phone call from one of the house guests that I texted every single one, blowing up their phone. I'm waiting for a message from someone to see where I can meet someone because, of course, I want to meet with everyone tonight. In particular, Alyssa. I need to see her tonight. It's been 5 weeks since I've seen her. Yes, in particular, very special someone, Alyssa. So I'm going to say I have something important to ask her. It's not a proposal. It's not a proposal. I just want to make that very clear.
So you're not going to pull
I'm not proposing.
You're not going to pull Swaggy C.
I'm not doing
because that was pretty big time. If you guys recall, in season 20, Swaggy C straight up proposed to Bailey on the stage. He was like, not waiting anymore.
Absolutely,
I'm locking her
Everyone's
down.
like, pull Swaggy. Yeah. No. I'm not proposing,
So
but
let me
I
ask
would
you
love.
something.
I'm staying up all night to see her.
Do you have
so
it's been a while. Do you have like butterflies? Like, what are you nervous? What are you gonna say?
That's the whole thing. I'm not nervous. I'm excited. I'm not nervous at all. I know for a fact her feelings haven't changed. My feelings haven't changed. So there's really no nerves. It's all excitement. I guess they are butterflies, but it's because I'm like, I feel like I don't even know where to start when I see her. Just hug, kiss, and hi, missed you, that kind of stuff. But
so you're hoping because listen, we have been around the block with this show for a while. For you, and it does seem like it is for Alyssa as well. She did a little cool jury house segment where she was like kissing your picture.
Yeah.
But so it seems like it's mutual. But you are saying, I mean, now that you've had some time to collect your thoughts and you were home, you processed the season, you would like to see something pursue something with Alyssa.
100%. That's where my
awesome.
mindset was in the house, and it hasn't changed.
Dude, we got a lot of Big Brother babies. We got a lot of Big Brother marriages. So
a lot of Big Brother relationships that actually stick.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Big Brother for actually working and being a not purposeful, but it's a dating show.
That's why it's so successful because it's not purposeful.
Yeah, I feel you. Because when I was saying it, that's how I felt.
Yeah, 100%. I believe someone messaged me. There are more successful relationships that come out of Big Brother than like The Bachelor and Bachelorette. Like, it's crazy.
For sure.
Well,
the circumstance you're living under is insane.
So why
you can't replicate that?
Go ahead, Cody.
No, what were you gonna say?
I was going to say, we see it all the time because, even Cody and I's relationship, you form bonds and friendships in there, and people are like, how do you do that in such a short period of time? Well, when you consider the amount of hours you spend with that person, it's equivalent to knowing them for like a year or two. It's that much time.
Absolutely.
When you date someone, you don't spend that night with them in sweatpants when you look like shit. You go home. So
nonsense.
Yeah.
No, but it's the truth.
You can't replicate the circumstance. You not only don't have any distractions as far as simple stuff, like you can't even be distracted by a puppy, let alone another person that could potentially take that person away from you. So you have absolutely zero distractions. You're locked in the house, no one else to spend time with, and the bonds are just so natural and so quick, especially in a game where you're forced to trust people.
Dude, we're happy for you. We're hoping the best. We're going to give you the final words. You're a part of a history-making season. I believe, Cody believes that the Cookout is the best alliance, statistically speaking. Forget what they accomplish, what they stand for. That's a whole different dimension.
Yeah.
I'm talking just from a game level.
Yeah.
They are the best alliance statistically in the history of the show. Yeah. You were part of it. We're going to give you the final thoughts. We know you're going to have a busy night tonight. You're not going to sleep.
Yeah.
What are your final thoughts about the season from a personal level? What do you take away from this, Christian, as far as being a member of Big Brother 23?
Yeah, so my final thoughts are to appreciate everything that you have because I came on as an alternate and I flew to LA not knowing that I was even going to be on this season. So if you have a mindset of, anything can happen, this just proves, anything really can happen. And I'm extremely, extremely grateful to CBS to, putting me on this season and so happy that I was able to meet this cast because I can't think of anyone else that I want to, right now I flew out to see them. So I'm extremely grateful for the cast, CBS, everyone involved, and I'm really just the best word to describe it is grateful.
Nice.
Dude,
that's awesome.
Happy to be part of the family with your brother. Welcome to the BB alum family.
Thank you.
And you're a good dude. Best of luck to you. Best of luck to you and Alyssa. And I'm sure we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Take care.
Yes, we will. Take care, guys. Thank you for having me.
Later, brother. Cody, do we have to close this scene down? Is it all right if he just pops out? He can just pop out, right?
All right, so we are back, guys. It worked out. So now we're gonna have to tell him just exit the browser.
Yeah, we'll just tell him exit the browser. It says be right back on the screen, but I think it's delayed.
It's a little bit delayed. So what'll happen is it'll open back up, so this conversation won't be missed. So see how it
right. And I'm actually talking with Whitney right now. She's going to be up in about 5 minutes. Cool. What's your takeaway from that chat? Christian, good dude, right?
Yeah, I really like Christian. I hope for the best. Honestly, I hope for the best for him because him and Alyssa, you really do form genuine connections in the house because you're just constantly talking to each other. You're constantly, you're opening up about so much stuff that normally doesn't really happen in the first week, because the first week, we say it all the time, feels like a month. And then a month feels like 6 months. It's just crazy. It's wild.
No, it was good. I knew that he was out in LA from our conversations earlier. I didn't know if he was going to be willing to say that or not. I didn't know, but obviously
he did.
He did. He did.
So let's go back to the episode.
Yes.
So we had
Take us away.
Xavier. We had Xavier competing with Azza, winning the final HOH, taking Derrick F. So now we have Xavier and Derrick F. And this is what you were waiting for. You really wanted this, right? You wanted to see what Derrick F would be saying if he was in the final 2 chairs. So what did you think about his answers, how he held himself, what his responses, and then his closing thoughts?
I mean, this isn't to be harsh. He's clueless. He doesn't know what happened this season. He did not do anything this season. I would say, in every shape and form of the word floater, that's Derrick. From all accounts, from what I've seen online, from what I watched in the show, Tiffany started the cookout. She was the one that kind of held it together. The only thing I'll give him is
Tiffany. That's why, because I'm so confused. When did he start to cook out, and why is he mouthing it like he's the one?
Hey, chat room. I'm sure that's one of the questions you want us to ask him tonight.
Should we ask Derrick F? When did you start to cook out, and why do you give yourself the kudos?
Yeah, I'm just honored that Derrick F has now anointed me to be in the crew of the greats with him. That's. Derrick, my man, thank you. And listen, this is coming from a place of love. We don't have any issues with him. He's probably got a good heart. But everything he said in that speech just seemed inaccurate. And I will say this, he wasn't lying in his mind. I think he truly believes that. But I will say, even with my season with Victoria would make comments like, I'm the Batman, you're the Robin, you're lucky. If you're lucky, I'll take you to final 2. And she wasn't joking. So he definitely, God bless his soul, feels like he's a big component. Listen, he is a reason why the cookout was so successful, because he never blew it up. Yeah. But was he the leader or the captain of that ship? I think it's fair to say that he wasn't.
And my biggest thing about it, right, is like, he's like, oh, I started the cookout. So, okay, you started the cookout. That's like a group of 5 people are sitting in a room, and the one person, like, the whole thing is talking, an alliance is about to form, and then one person sticks their hand up and goes, guys, we should be in an alliance. And then everybody's like, okay, yeah, that's what we were thinking. Yeah, we are in an alliance. And then that person at the end of the game is like, I started that alliance in that room, remember? I was the one that said it. But then you have Tiffany, who was the strategist of the cookout. Xavier, who was like kind of like a glue. Xavier was, helping conversations and calming down.
He was a mediator.
Mediator, that's the perfect word. Not the glue. He was a mediator of the cookout. Kylan was a competition person. Tiffany was a competition person. Hannah even won herself an HOH.
Analytical.
Hannah, very analytical, knew, I bet you Hannah didn't want to take out Derrick X at the time that it happened, but knew when things needed to happen. So the other thing I didn't like was when, Kylan shows up to the round table and he pretty much said that Big D and Hannah were on the same page. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if Kai was still a little bit angry or just really felt that, but it's very off base.
Spoiler alert. It's not true. It's not true.
And so that's where I think it comes from. Like, Derrick F might have turned to Xavier and was like, we're going to do a final 2. And then he was like, oh, and you see everybody in here, we should form an alliance and call it the cookout. And Xavier's like, cool. Let me go, try to figure that out. And then he went and had conversations with people. And then all of a sudden they as a group got themselves to where they were. Do I give Derrick F the credit for starting the cookout?
I think he misinterpreted the fact that they all agreed to be in the cookout at the same time as like he started it. Honestly, he was like, I was there. All right. I call it. I started it. I was the first one to say
I
yes.
get to say that in the finale, so none of you else say it, because I get to say it. That's going to be one of my talking points. You don't get to say it.
You did just bring up something very important, though. We kind of skated over it because there wasn't a lot in there other than what you just said. Mm-hmm. And by the way, before I get to this real quick, people went nuts when we said we're gonna give Derrick F a little. We're gonna give Derrick F a little tonight. And for those of you who don't know, the thing that's making this stream special is everybody else is recording their interviews with Xavier, Derrick F, Azza, and Tiffany. They're gonna record them and they're gonna put them out probably over a couple days because it's, to be honest with you, it's better money. We are not doing that.
Yeah,
we are gonna be streaming them live right with you. So when we get through the other house guests that we're gonna talk to tonight, and we get through the recap of the episode, you guys are going to help us pick questions for them. We're going to get 5 questions for each person. We're going to literally go through that process like we do every single week with you. And if you stick around, because it is going to be about 1:30 East Coast time, if you stick around, you're going to be part of that live interview with us where you're going to get to hear and see what we say and what they respond.
Yeah.
And we'll be looking over at the chat, and maybe if we have time, we'll sneak one in there. But back to what I was getting to. You brought up the jury roundtable. We kind of skated over that, but and at the end of the day, regardless of what the dissension is or the disagreement is, the show shows the show is going to show everything, and the feeds show everything, and most people know that. So we're going to be fine. People are going to see what's going on.
Yeah,
it's saying we're frozen.
No, I think we're back. I just saw it come back on my end.
Yeah, it was only frozen for a second there, so I don't know how much they missed. It was probably only a second or so, right?
Yeah. I think it might end up going, because I'm seeing it on my end. It's going to autocorrect itself. Again, guys, this is live. This is live and uncut, and we're here. And this kind of stuff happens. Obviously, for those of you guys that are in here, we appreciate you guys. Some of you guys, we know it's East Coast time. Derrick and I are on the East Coast. We're going to be up. This is what we got to do. But for those of you that are peeling out, we will be posting this on our YouTube channel, on the Winner's Circle. So if you guys want to make sure you check that out, just make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. This will be getting posted. But Derrick had this idea, and we wanted to bring it to you guys live, which wasn't done last year. We're in a different kind of day and age right now where this stuff online is kind of what's taken over. And so we appreciate you guys. Anybody that's here, if you got to peel off, we appreciate you guys for being here for the time that you did. This has been absolutely insane. I am on, every time I see the numbers that are in here, I'm on fire and I'm sweating.
Yeah. Hey, it's going really good. Shout out to Dorothy, by the way. Listen, Winnie's got to go somewhere, I guess to dinner in about 15 minutes. So I just sent the link to her. Let's take a quick break.
Yep.
We'll come right back. We're going to be with Whitney Williams. She was on the show this season. You obviously know her. You guys can ask her some questions as well. So we'll take a quick break. We'll get her on. Hopefully she's able to do this. If not, we're going to come right back and keep it going. So don't go nowhere. Be right back to you with Whitney. All right, so just a heads up, we're back. I think Whitney's doing her thing. She might have a technical difficulty or not, but we don't want to keep you waiting. That's not what you came here for. So we're going to keep it rolling. We'll take a couple questions. We won't dive into the next segment of the show just in case she pops in and we have to go to a quick break to set her up. But couple quick questions. Fire away in the comments. You don't have to pay to give a comment. We appreciate the support, but you can just ask a comment. We'll hit it. It's easier to see. I will say it is easier to see when they're big and color coded like that. But
and this chat is moving.
Yeah, it really is moving. A couple people talk about Whitney. There was somebody in here who said, "Thank you for the live chat." This was from Shell. To be very honest, I was rooting for Tiffany, but X deserved the win. In the end, I was hoping for X and Azza final 2. I think a lot of people were, right? Because they were hoping maybe also to have a male-female duo up there.
I mean, for a couple reasons. Now, I'm obviously going to go into, kind of just how Derrick F was kind of going at Azza. I would have just loved to have seen her be there to just be like, just to win the comp, take Xavier. I would have loved that. I think that would have been more. I still think Xavier would have won, but I do think Azza would not have gotten beat 9-0 if she won and took Xavier, because I think that people would have respected her because they would have asked and she would have given an answer and people would have respected that and respected her gameplay. So Anthony McGurn, thank you for the donation. This is more towards Cody since he was on 22, had 10 final 2 deals on week 1. How do get invited that first week Power Alliance, and how do you get that alliance to not turn on you when the numbers dwindle? I mean, you don't have to be on 22 because Derrick had a very similar situation. So pretty much, Derrick, what the question is you make a ton of final 2 deals, right? Or you're having a ton of relationships where you want to go with them to the final 2. You're in multiple alliances.
It worked. Oh my god.
Hold on. We're just switch the scene.
Okay. It wouldn't let me.
All right, guys, we are back. We are with Whitney. We worked through the technical difficulties. This is the world we're living in with Zoom and all these different things, but actually pretty fast. Not too bad. Congratulations, Whitney. Good job on that one.
Hey, thanks.
So let's dive right into it because we're not going to keep you long. We know you got plans. Thank you for coming on the winner circle. Overall view, what'd you think of tonight's episode?
Oh, best possible outcome. The first time I talked to you guys, I said that I hope that X would win, and I thought he was going to. So best outcome. I'm stoked for Tiffany, stoked for him. Really big positions for the cookout. So yeah, great outcome. I'm excited.
Yeah. What'd you think? I don't want to forget because we asked someone else, and I think we're gonna ask everybody. What did you think about the Xavier Kylan altercation last episode?
Oh, whoa.
I thought it was incredibly disrespectful on Kylan's part, and I've said since week 2 when he was HOH that I thought he was putting on a show and he wasn't really showing who he truly was. So when he started acting that way, I was like, oh, I told you guys, this is the real him. This is what he was trying to hide forever. So yeah, I wasn't surprised by it, but I was a little pissed that he took it that far and made it so personal.
Yeah, it was a lot. That's what, we've talked about this. I think a lot of people have the same reaction. Sorry, everybody said Cody's face. I had to sneeze. I was trying to hide it. I was trying to mute. I couldn't get it done. There's a lot going on over here. But
oh, is this live? People are actually watching right now?
We are live.
You
There's
have
YouTube channel.
2,000 people are watching right now.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, hello, everyone.
We're live. Yeah, we are live. This is like unedited, so make sure if you say anything, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to see it.
Are we allowed to curse?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. Okay, cool.
YouTube
Perfect.
might, whatever, it's fine.
I think we get to slip a couple. Yeah,
Cody's like, please stop sweating.
Yeah, this is why Cody didn't want me having a couple drinks.
Yeah. No. Also, Whitney, this is the after party, so I got my red wine. Derek's got his Captain Morgan. What's going on over there?
I mean, can I grab a bottle?
Yeah, well, you know what? If it's going to take long, because we
Come
don't want
with
to
me.
keep... All right,
perfect.
There we go.
Let's get some wine.
Perfect.
Yeah, so,
Cody, there was a couple questions, but you want to hit her with a couple questions? I'm looking in the room to see any questions you guys have for Whitney. Let us know. We're glad to ask them.
yeah, so...
Well, Whitney wasn't allowed to talk tonight, so...
Yeah, you didn't get a lot of...
chance.
We were saying Christian got a lot of shine. But I will say there was a very cute picture of you when they were all hugging and stuff, and they just showed you, and you were like so happy.
Oh,
just
yeah,
felt like
you
it was
were.
a genuine...
Yes.
It was like a genuine, like, just really happy for everybody. But
Yeah.
yeah, you didn't get no reaction.
Aww.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So I got a little snippet picture of me. That's great.
If you blinked with, you
Cool.
might have missed it, but you still got it.
my 1 second of fame.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So let me ask you this, because this is obviously something that's crazy. You went out, you were the fourth person out, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what is it like? You're in there, the fourth person out, you're in there for a month. That's, in the
Yeah.
Big Brother time, that's a long time, right? So
It
we
felt
had,
like it.
yeah, we had our interview. What was it like watching this season after being in there? Obviously, it takes you a little bit of time to decompress. You got to get out of game mode. What was it like to then, kind of decompress and then watch the season out? What is it like as, a fan of the show? Then you get to play the show. Then you get to watch the show.
It's kind of a surreal experience because you're watching people who have grown to become really good friends. So it feels almost like I'm intruding in their personal life. So it felt a little weird watching them behind the scenes, and they don't really know that I'm watching, but I don't know, it's really exciting, and it's kind of crazy to hear the things happening behind scenes too that you didn't know were happening. Like, I didn't know the cookout was a thing. I didn't know the royal flush was a thing.
Right.
So it's a weird experience to go through and be like, I had no idea any of this was happening, and this makes so much sense now.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a surreal experience, but it's really exciting at the same time.
Yeah.
I got a question here for you. Going a little personal. We're getting right for it.
Somebody's go.
drinking.
That's what this
This
is about.
is from S.H. Henry. What are your thoughts on X and Azza, the cuddle sessions?
I flirted with him in the house,
There we
but that
go.
was it.
There we go. We haven't gotten to talk to you, Whit. We haven't gotten to talk to you in a very long time. When we first talked to you, you were like, ooh, hopefully he wins and takes me on a date with that money. Does that still hold true?
Okay, I've had some time to decompress and get over my crush on X. Obviously, I think he's incredibly handsome.
Obviously.
And he is and now he's rich. So I'm excited for him, but really, he was my closest friend in the house.
Yeah.
And when I was nominated for eviction, everybody in the house avoided me except for X. He became a really close friend, and we had a great connection. We were playful together and had fun. So I miss his friendship, but as far as him and Azza cuddling together, I don't really care.
Yeah, I mean that kind of is hard to hear. I hate that. That's one of my biggest issues with Big Brother is somebody's on the block, they're the target that week, they're going home, and the house ostracizes them.
Oh my gosh, it's like I had leprosy.
Yeah.
Even my own team, the second that I was nominated, they just kind of dispersed and scattered, and I didn't know what was happening, and I felt pretty alone. But
but Xavier's a good guy to the core, and so that's probably he probably said, okay, I know the game is here, I know this is a part of the game, but I'm not just gonna leave her by herself, and so that's also, you know what, and that's part of the game too. Sometimes it's just being a good person, and so.
Well, all right, we got a question from Karen. I don't know exactly. You might know more what she's referring to, but she says, Whitney, This is from Karen Ventura. Karen, thank you for the support. We truly appreciate it. Whitney, were you going to talk about the double standard that was shown towards you? Do you know what she's talking about there?
Is she talking about as far as the clothing that I wore compared to the clothing other women wore and I got more crap for it?
Karen, hit us with it, because I don't know exactly what she's referring to. That might be it. It doesn't seem like it's coming from a negative place, because guys, if you ask a negative question, that's disrespectful, which I don't think she was. We're not going to.
No, definitely. I don't think she was either.
Yeah. So she definitely wasn't, but let's get a clarification from Karen, because you're probably right. Because I thought that you hit... Go ahead.
No, because I did, like, I would wear shorts or tank tops or whatever, but because I'm curvier than a couple other girls in the house,
Whitney,
they would wear the,
That's
okay, that's
question.
what I assumed.
Okay.
So,
Thank
for
you, Karen.
example, here's just an example of it with BB Comics. Alyssa was wearing a bikini in the BB comic, and her breasts were out, and all these other things, and Big D went to her comic and he was like, Alyssa looks incredible. She looks great. What an icon, all this stuff. And then he went to my comic and I had even more clothing on than Alyssa did. And he was like, when he's got that workout top on, like, don't let your children read this comic. And he was saying that I don't know. He gives me a lot of shit, and a lot of people in the house give me shit, I think, because I'm a little bit more curvy.
Well, Derrick F gave, well, you're a beautiful woman. You have nothing to be ashamed of. You can wear whatever you want. It's nobody's fucking business. But that said, were you, and you can speak honestly, because Derrick F had a lot to say this season. And you speak freely. There's nothing here. I mean, ultimately, he's probably going to see this. I think Derrick F
You're
has
the
a lot
only one
of
that
things
has to answer to anything you ever say, so speak freely.
Absolutely. And he's going to have a few things he's going to probably have to address.
Trust me, I want to. I think Derrick X was incredibly disrespectful toward women.
Derrick
Even,
X?
for example,
Derrick X?
Oh, F, not X.
Woo!
F.
Got you,
I was going to
girl.
say,
No.
you literally, my jaw was about to hit the floor. I was like, Derrick X?
I haven't even started drinking yet either. I haven't even had a sip.
See, Cody, I'm still in the game, brother. I'm
Thank
still
you,
in the game.
bro.
No, I
was
haven't even
literally
tasted. Maybe
I
I
thought we
need
were about to get the
alcohol.
most tea of all time. I was like, Derrick X.
No.
Do your thing.
Reverse it.
Derrick F, we're with you.
Oh my gosh, no, adore Derrick X. Derrick F was incredibly disrespectful toward everybody, but specifically women. Like, if you were to go through and read some of the tweets of the crap that he said about Tiffany behind her back and all these other women behind their back, and then taking all the credit for them and acting like they did nothing in the house and all this other bullshit. Like, I think he's entitled. I think he has a wrong idea of women, and I hate the fact that he just won $75,000 because he's the easiest person in the house to beat. If anybody were up against him,
Why do you think he was in the final two with Xavier?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's so proud of himself for making it to the final two, but the reason why he was in the final two is because he's the easiest person in the entire house to beat. Even easier than me. Like,
so I do want to follow up with the Karen who asked the question, said, absolutely no shade. I love you, Whitney. The way you were treated was unfair. So that, that's what we're talking about right now. For those of you that are maybe just joining, we're talking about Whitney felt like there was a double standard with the way she dressed, and other women in the house dressed maybe the same way, but because she's a little curvier, she was viewed in this negative light and got a lot of shit, which, to be quite frank, you can dress however you want. It's really unfair, but it's a world we live in. Everybody's got an opinion about everything. Everything. So, everybody's always going to have something to say. You can't please everyone, and as long as you please yourself, you'll be able to sleep at night.
Agreed. Thank you.
Any other takeaway from today? Obviously, you're very excited about Xavier winning. What'd you think about Tiffany winning AFP?
Oh, I'm pumped for her. I think she did an incredible job in the house as far as, like, gameplay. As much as I hate that, like, personally, I don't like that she said some things about me behind my back. But beyond that, she still was there for me as a person. Like, when I had a really hard time missing my children, she was there to, like, hold me and hug me. Mm-hmm. She really did build a lot of really good connections in the house. And she was there for the fan base, too. Like, she was frequently on the cameras talking to America and telling America her plan. And she did a really good job. I'm proud of Tiffany. And the fact that she's a single mom, I'm pumped that she has that money, too.
I wanted her to win a little bit more money as a single mom. But I got to be honest with you, we've said it. And we hope it holds true. We think she probably will get asked back, and hopefully she does go back. She's an incredible player
1,000%.
and an incredible. She's a television personality. She was great in the DRs. Great, talking to the camera. She knew exactly what she was doing, and she was also a great player. We have another question from All Things Dory. How do you feel about DX now after seeing what happened leading up to what you heard about him when you were going home? I love you. You played a great game.
Thank you. Are they talking about the fact that he was in the royal flush?
Maybe. These questions are a little vague. Vague.
Guys, we got to have like specifics here because that would be great. It would really help us because
things, clear it up for us, brother. Let us know exactly what you want to what you're exactly looking for because we want to make sure that you get your question answered.
All things Dory.
Yeah, all things Dory. All things Dory.
As far as my feelings toward anybody in the house, though, like it's a game.
Mm-hmm.
They voted me out. I was going to vote somebody else out. It's all a part of the game. I have no hard feelings when it comes to that. The only things that I don't appreciate is when people talk about others behind their back. That I don't enjoy and probably won't continue to have a friendship with them outside the house for those reasons. But as far as anything game related, like DX having any sort of hand in me being evicted, I don't really care. It's all a part of being on Big Brother.
It's the game. It's totally part of the game.
Exactly.
I love that answer.
Is there anything else? Because I know that you definitely, and this is a place, like there is a lot of people watching right now. There's going to be a lot of people doing it, and you don't have to. We're not trying to put you in a position, but actually, before I get there, when Whitney overheard DX saying she won't be in the house next week, when you yes, there we go. Thank you all, thanks, appreciate it, brother.
Oh my God, Whit, please, please.
Yes, that was a crazy moment.
Honestly, going back and watching, I kind of feel bad for him. Like, I freaked out on him over the slip of the tongue. And honestly, I was mostly just upset because the moment I heard it in my head, I was like, they're working against me. Like, my team is working against me. If he already knows that I'm going home, then did he help plan this? So that's why I was so frustrated and upset with him. But really, like, going back and watching, I did see how horribly he felt. And I feel bad that I made him feel that way.
Yeah, he felt really bad. I remember him being in the back room.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
I felt really bad that I made him feel so bad. But my feelings were hurt because I thought he was working against me. Which he kind of was, but he also tried to help me leading up to it too, so.
Yeah.
Nah, it's a tough game. And you get complacent in there. You forget when, you're so used to working so many deals that sometimes you forget who's in the room and if they're paying attention. It happened on the season with
Tiffany and Kylan.
Yeah,
Alyssa was laying in the bed right next to him.
What happened?
Tiffany and Kylan were having a conversation, and Alyssa, they were talking about the cookout and everything, and Alyssa was literally laying in the bed right next to him in that middle room, the one that's like the in-between room from the back room and the side room.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, a little like nook.
Yeah.
It was very interesting. But hey, that stuff happens all the time.
What did she say? Did she say anything?
They were talking about us, and she said like the 6 and all this stuff. But then Alyssa was passed out. I don't think she heard anything about it. Maybe she'll be asked about it afterwards.
I wonder if she did and she just didn't say anything.
There's a couple people asking in the chat, what did you think about, what was your reaction to Britt revealing to the house tonight that not only was she a 4th degree black belt, but she's autistic and was able to overcome that, and her reasoning for coming into the game and why she didn't tell them?
Honestly, it made me feel emotional for her. I'm proud of her for keeping that in and wanting people to get to know her as a person instead of using that, not necessarily against her, but as, I don't know. I'm proud of her for holding that in instead of letting it affect her game in any way. Like, I wouldn't want people to look at me differently for it. And I'm extremely proud of her for playing Big Brother with that. Like, that's a really huge thing about you to not be able to share with somebody that you're living with for 3 months.
Yeah, totally.
Well said. Well said.
Totally.
Cody, you want to hit that last question from Jason? And we know Whitney's got to go. She's got things to do.
Yeah. Last question for Whitney.
I'm late for dinner, but...
Whitney, if you were the captain of the Aces, who would have been your picks? Now, try to be a little bit...
I was captain of the Aces.
She was the captain.
Jason. What are you doing, Jason?
She was the captain of the Aces since she did pick her team.
You're getting fucking out of here, Jason!
Wait a minute,
I
who
won
was
that comp!
Hey, let me answer that question.
And one of my favorite clips is of you pointing up to the crowd when it's on, like, it was like right before, it was like, hey, all access to BB, and it was like you pointing up top to everybody after you won the competition. I thought it was so badass. It seemed like in a stadium you just won and you're pointing at the fans. It was pretty awesome.
Well, if you were wondering, Jason, Whitney would have picked Brent, Derrick X, and Hannah. That's who she would have picked.
And
Let's rewind that. Whitney wouldn't have chosen Brent, but
zing. So that's now I got it. I mean, have you spoken to? I know you're friends with Christian. Anybody else you're speaking with, or you haven't spoke with? I see the face, but you just opened it up. Now I gotta ask.
I don't know if Brent is gonna watch this, but Brent and I are like oil and water. We cannot be anywhere near each other, or we fight. So I choose to keep my distance from Brent.
Okay.
Frenchie and I have very different personalities as well, so we don't really choose to speak. Travis, no hard feelings. We just don't really talk. So Christian's been the only one that I really talk to.
That's totally part of it. You go on a season with people. You can't talk to everybody. You like it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you like people and you don't like people, but even the people that you like, it's not easy to just have conversations when you're going back to real life. You're going back to your kid. It's life is happening.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll probably still be I'll definitely be friends with Hannah. She wants to come up here and see me soon and spend a couple weeks with me and explore Portland and stuff. So
love that.
I'll be friends with Hannah, friends with X, friends with Derrick X.
And that kind of addresses too, because Amy asked us right out, Whitney, do you talk to any other players who left pre-jury and what they thought about the game? So that kind of answers it. The only person you spoke to was Christian before this.
Yeah, Christian and I were texting during the finale too, being like, what the hell is he thinking? Or like, what's happening here? So we still talk game and we talk personal and stuff too.
Nice.
He's a good guy. I'm excited for him to see Alyssa.
Yeah, it's going to go down. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. Hopefully the feelings are reciprocated. We have had situations where the feeling is not mutual when you get out. So that will stay tuned. We'll see if they can. We'll see if they be. What do you think the question he was going to ask her? Did you see the interview that we just did with Christian before you hopped on?
No, I immediately got my pajamas on.
He said he's got a question for her, but he wouldn't tell us what it was. But he said he's not proposing. IG official? Facebook
Why would
official?
he not tell you guys?
He
He's
didn't
asking her to be
Maybe it's something that he wants to have on his own terms be announced to everybody. He didn't want us to get all the
Oh my God. Okay, I don't know. I have no idea what Christian's gonna ask Alyssa.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Well,
I know
listen.
what it is.
Hold on, we got to get this one last.
We know you actually. There's if you want to answer this one quick, Dana, she asked if you couldn't. So you said you would pick the same house guest, but if you could pick someone else, who would you pick? You said you wouldn't have picked Brent again. Who would you pick instead of Brent?
Well, my only options were Brent or Travis. I would have chosen Travis, but if I could have chosen anyone, obviously Xavier.
Yeah, obviously.
Yes.
We'll end the questions there for you, Whitney. Enjoy your dinner. Thank you for coming on the Winner Circle.
Thank you so much.
I'm sure we'll be talking again. Welcome to the BB fam as always.
Thank you.
Have a good dinner.
Congratulations on being part of a historic season.
Yay, thank you so much. Have a good night, you guys.
All right, take care. All you got to do is hit that browser so you don't have that awkward moment.
All right, and we are back. We had Whit in here. She had to go to a dinner, but we appreciate her stopping by to our after party. A lot of energy, a lot of fun. Britt's someone that you'd go to a bar and you'd have a good time. You'd take shots. Probably she pegs me as a little bit of a tequila kind of girl. She pegs me as a little bit of a tequila kind of girl. You definitely have some fun at the bar. She's a lot of fun. She's a lot of fun.
Yeah, she's like, am I good now?
Yeah, she just went nuts and just shut the laptop, kept herself in here, but we figured it out. Listen, we're rolling through it, guys. We're rolling through it.
Next up, we're going to have Travis, but before we do, there was a couple questions that came in that I definitely want to hit. I hope we're not missing any. Stacy, thank you. Obviously, everybody, thank you for supporting the channel. So I just want to hit these. I think there was two questions. So first one, can you talk about Xavier's answers and final speech? I thought it was a little unimpressive. This is from Jason Cole.
You
Cody,
take it away. You take it away.
You want me to take it first? I thought it was nothing crazy, but I didn't think it had to be. This is where him and I are very similar. Mm-hmm. I did the same thing. I knew the jury was coming for you, I just didn't want to screw up. I thought he made some really good points as far as what he did do in the game. He was short. He was concise. He was to the point. He knew he had the win, guys. I promise you, there's not a doubt in his mind that he knew once he won that final HOH, he was winning the money. It was just a matter of getting to the finale night.
Yeah, I think, I don't know what his biggest move. He said so. His biggest move was throwing an HOH competition, which was throwing a competition to have his team get targeted. I guess that's a huge move. And then what did he say his other biggest move was?
Trying to remember. Like I said, it was very succinct. He was right to the point. But ultimately, to answer your question, it wasn't like a memorable speech where you're going to be like, wow, he killed it. He brought himself out of the dead there. He could have lost. He knew. He's a lawyer. You always got to kind of go against the person, whether your defense or prosecution. You give this impressive, but it didn't have to be. And ultimately, whether your speech is impressive or not, the 750 still counts as 750 when you go to the bank.
Period. End of story. And also what I will say is that I think a lot of people have a heavy, they're almost 95.5 when they enter that stage. They know 95% sure where they're voting. And I'll tell you right now, you can interview every single person. I guarantee you, if you go back 10 seasons, there's probably a very, very small group of people that said, I switched my answer because of their final speeches. All Things Dory comes in. I love you both as game players and people. Definitely an asset to why I'm applying for the show. All Things Dory, we hope the best for you. Objectively, who do you think played a stronger game had the final two been Tiffany and Xavier? Who do you think takes that?
Who do I think takes that?
We now we can play it out, right?
Yeah, I think Tiffany beats him. I think Tiffany beats him.
So I'm saying Brit is all around game. Brittany goes Tiff.
Yep.
Hannah goes Tiff.
Yep. Claire goes Tiff.
Claire goes Tiff. 3.
I think Sarah Beth goes Tiff.
Sarah Beth goes Tiff. Derrick X goes Tiff. And there is
That's 5.
And I'll tell you right now, Xavier sitting next to Tiffany, if he pulled the whatever it was, if he maybe cut him that way, Kylan goes Tiff. So that's 6. Who else is left? Derrick F goes Xavier. Oz is a tough one. Could go either way. That can make it 7-1 or 7-2 or 8. I think Tiffany probably wins it.
I think Tiffany wins. Derrick X said it right when if she would have got up there and said, I started the duo alliance and all those other things.
The master plan, that's what's called, right?
Yeah.
Master plan.
I think she
Thinking
wins.
of a master plan.
I think she wins. Cody, there's 2 questions I have here. The first one's directed towards you specifically. It's from Anthony McGurn. He asks, this is more towards Cody since on 22 he got 10 final 2 deals on week 1.
That was the one. That was the one that we couldn't talk about. We didn't talk about because Whitney jumped right in. We were about to answer it. Remember, it's about all the final 2s in week 1, being in an alliance, and how do you get, how do you not?
So answer, how do you not? So basically, how do you get invited into that first week power alliance, and how do you get that alliance to not turn on you when the numbers dwindle?
So my biggest thing was understanding what movement was happening within the alliance. You can definitely touch on this. That's why I said it. I was like, it wasn't necessarily something that I specifically did. This is something that everybody has to understand. If they're in a big alliance, which you were in, and are getting when the numbers are dwindling because that alliance is going deep into the game. My biggest thing was understanding who are the people that are being targeted and really being in a position to hear who it is. On mine, it was hearing and noticing that either Tyler, people that I was working, Tyler and Enzo were kind of turning on Danny and Nicole. Danny and Nicole were trying to play, Danny specifically was trying to play like Christmas, Nicole trying to play in between, seeing where targets were going, and just ultimately kind of feeding what people want to hear into their ear about whoever it is. And I knew for Christmas, it was feeding about distrust in Danny and Nicole. With Danny, it was, now's not the time with Tyler, but when it dwindles down, you got to go after Tyler, and I'm there for you. I'll go after him as well. It was Memphis just kind of sitting in the middle. With Tyler, it was, dude, we're going to go after Danny, but right now I don't want to let other people go in. And so it's essentially knowing where people are kind of, where their direction is and not getting in the way of it, and kind of always making everybody feel like I'm on your side. And when we need to target that person, we're doing it. We're both doing it. Not you'll do it. It's not I'll do it. It's we're going to do this together so that you and me are tight and that other person's on the outside. And that's what I feel like is the biggest thing about when you're moving through this alliance. You got to know when the alliance is fracturing and going to have to target each other. And for us, that's why I felt it was very important for me to win the final 8 HOH, because I nominated 2 people. It was even more important to not nominate anybody within my alliance. So I won the veto, and then it put me into the final 7, not having to do anything. Or the final 8. It put me into the final 8 without having to do anything. And then it was Memphis took out David, Tyler took out Danny, and then I had the opportunity to take out who I thought was the biggest beast in the house, and that was Tyler. So you got to really understand what's going on within the alliance. And if you're not privy to that information, you're probably on the outs anyways, and you're going to be the person that's getting blindsided.
Yeah, we also had a question. I just missed the name. I'm so sorry. But basically, I believe it was Jason. I apologize if I'm wrong. But he asked, what advice would you have? He just turned 21. What advice would you have for someone who's trying to get on Big Brother? Guys, it's really simple. It's hard to get on. Some of it is luck. Find something about yourself that differentiates you from what you're seeing on TV right now. If you're someone who's very similar to the people on the show, go with a different angle, because they're always looking for new, fresh faces that not only physically look different, but also have a different story that they haven't heard before. You saw it on the season. All these people, Derrick F. being Joe Frazier's son, Brittany overcoming autism at a very young age to accomplish all these amazing things. Hannah with her background, Claire with her background, Xavier being a lawyer but coming in here not telling them, Tiffany, a mother of a teenage son, just all these different people.
Mm-hmm. Super fan of the show.
Yes, find something about yourself that makes you unique, that you can tell in under 2 minutes, where people look at it and go, I want to see that person on television. I want to see that person and how they play the game.
Somebody has a question I want to hit.
Go ahead.
Oh, Travis. It was because I wanted to talk to you about it, because it was a lot of what you brought to the table on 16. Somebody asked, Cody, were you as excited as everybody else was tonight when, Derrick's occupation was revealed? And what I will say is this. I cannot explain to you guys the joy of knowing I am walking out this door in another 5-10 minutes. I'm no longer, it's not another week. It's not another 2 days. And so that excitement is it's less about the whole oh my God, somebody has an occupation, and more like that. But oh my God, I can't wait to get out of this house. I can't wait to see people. I can't wait to talk to my family. I can't wait to see my friends, talk to my friends, talk to my family. And so, yeah, when Derrick did it, obviously I was Derrick F. My reaction to Derrick, which I don't think they showed it as much, was I went nuts, right? When you were like, hey, bro, something's about to come out. And then all of a sudden they showed the thing and it was I'm a cop. And I think they cut the commercial break and you and me were in the house and I was like, no way. Are you kidding me? I went nuts, and I feel part of it is just we're so happy to get out, bro. I want to be out of the house, or all these, everybody else is just waiting for the finale to end. So I just want my phone.
I almost thought there was too many surprises today. It took away from it. It was
it did.
Half the people on the show had a surprise. I'm an AI engineer. I'm a PhD. I'm a Joe Frazier's son. I'm a lawyer. And then I thought Brittany's was. Listen, I think you said it best. There was a lot of good ones, but I think Derrick F., Xavier, definitely those were they're in the final 2. I think Brittany's one that needs to be heard, because there might be somebody out there who is a fan of Brittany and or maybe has autism and says, I don't know if I could ever go on the show. She's just proven to you that you can. So I think for people like that, those stories need to be heard. Couple quick rapid fire questions and then we'll get Travis in here. Iman asks, do you guys agree with Xavier backdooring Kyland? My answer is simple. Yes.
100%.
Got to get him out. Got to get him out. The next one's from Amy. It's more of a comment, it almost looks like. I was surprised X didn't say anything to the jury about his brother's passing and playing to set up his nephew financially. I did miss that on the live feeds. I know he told Kyland, but had he told anyone else about it? We get killed for this. Yeah. We don't watch a ton of live feeds. I will say this.
We read the updates. Okay, so don't come for us. We read the updates. We're just not sitting there watching the feeds. We are reading the updates, so we do see what's happening on feeds.
Well, what do you think? Why do you think he didn't bring it up in his final speech?
I don't think Xavier wanted to go there, to be honest. I don't think Xavier wanted to go there. I think he wanted to win the game and win the game because of what he did in the house and not stuff that was going on the outside. And I have a world of respect for that. If that is the case, I'm obviously speculating right now, but I don't know that I have the greatest, feel for who Xavier is, but he definitely seems like somebody who's like, I'm going to win this for me. I'm going to make sure that the game that I played won me this game and not anything external. And so that's probably why someone like Xavier didn't bring that up. What do you think?
I think that's it. And I also think he got a sore spot because what happened with Kyland.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was like, you know what? I don't need, it goes back to what I said earlier. He didn't need it to win. I promise you guys, he knew he had the W. He kept it very simple. Any more questions we haven't missed yet?
No, that's
actually, we got one here. Mickey Joe's Crafts and Laughs asks, Derrick, did you use your expertise on as a police officer in the game? And if so, how did you apply it? Yes, I did. I was an undercover detective. I treated everyone as a source. I developed a persona, and I created bonds with everyone, and I tried to create those bonds based on personal interest, not on game-related interest, because having a personal bond with someone is always going to be better than if your relationship is based purely on game, because people can separate game very easily. Emotion, not so much. We do have more questions coming in, but before I forget, just want to remind everyone, we are interviewing the winner of Big Brother 23, Xavier, America's favorite player, Tiffany, Derrick F, and Azza tonight live. You will see it. We're going to keep covering Survivor. We're going to keep covering Big Brother, Celebrity Big Brother.
First it's Azza, then it's Xavier, then it's AFP, which is Tiffany, and then it's Derrick F.
Right. So listen, if you haven't already, if you want to ask comments, you got to be subscribed to the channel. So subscribe to the channel, turn your notifications on, so you get updated as we continue the show, because we got a lot more coming. 2 more quick ones, and then we're going to go to it. Were you nervous about going back on a reality to reality after the show? I wasn't nervous. Were you?
No.
I was happy.
Wait.
I was ready to go.
My goodness, I couldn't wait.
So listen, I'm gonna send the link to Travis. I just sent it to Travis. We will probably get him on in about 5 seconds because he's ready to go. He's sending me memes and everything. He's ready to go. He's ready.
I love it. Oh my God, I can't wait. I'm gonna bring us to the Be Right Back.
Yep, be right back. We're gonna talk to Travis, recap the rest of the episode, and then it's almost game time. We gotta get into questions, guys. So after Travis, we're gonna have Sharon Tharp on from Us Weekly quickly, and then we're gonna get into questions. We're gonna start developing them.
Yep, we'll be right back.
Take us in, Cody.
All right, we are back with Travis. Unfortunately, the first person evicted from season 23. And gotta be honest with you, every time I hear you speak, every time I see you on the TV, I am more mad that you couldn't make it because you would have been phenomenal TV, bro.
Cody, you silver tongue fox, you know just what to say, my man. I appreciate you.
Thank you for joining us here, bro. Thank you for joining us here. Obviously, you got to watch out. You know, your life in the Big Brother house was short-lived, but you got to watch out the entire season. What would you say some of your takeaways are from watching kind of this crazy historic season, this wild season unfold? What was your biggest takeaway as a viewer?
Yeah, I had the really, really unique position being, the first removed and having that ability to kind of look in on everyone and immediately find out, X was a lawyer and Sarah Beth and everyone actually had these different occupations and these complete lies that they were holding up really well, I would say. I don't know. I think the biggest takeaway, though, I would honestly say was the efficacy and the efficiency of the Cookout Alliance. I mean, they had a plan, and my God, did they carry that out perfectly to final six. And yeah. I mean, I can't say well done enough. It was methodical, the way that they treated it in regards to conversation with outsiders and, kind of keeping it really tight all the way out to the very end. So, I mean, I applaud that. It's, separate from, the incredible social ramifications and agenda that they had there, just in general, a fantastic alliance and really effective in their mission.
Yeah. Travis, I got to ask you. You got to be honest here. A lot of people are wondering in the chat. By the way, this is live. We didn't tell we didn't tell Whitney. No.
Whitney's like, wait, we're live?
This is live. You got about 2,000 people in here listening to you, so don't mess up. But they're basically asking, did you actually keep up with the show after you were off? Because were you a big fan of Big Brother before?
Honestly.
Don't lie, Travis.
You're saying let's be honest, like you already know the answer, Big D. Come on now. Yeah.
Big D.
I was the true Big D, right? The OG Big D. Dude,
I love this guy, man.
I was straight up recruited into it, and I hadn't watched any Big Brother, and I just cranked out Derrick's season immediately. It was recommended to me, and I was like,
Time out.
Damn, this is what I'm getting into.
Time out. I'm just going to hold on. I was also on that season. Yikes! Yikes! We are live.
There it is.
No, okay. But you were honest about that when we interviewed you, right?
Yes,
like
you were, dude. You've been straight up.
I respect that.
You've been straight up, dude.
Yes,
so we knew you were a recruit, but you were great TV.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, did you keep up with it? You were on the show. Did you keep up with it afterwards?
I don't think, in full transparency, I completed a full episode of Big Brother after hopping off.
Travis!
I know, that's horrible. That's horrible. Dude, do you see where I live? Look around me, man. I have surfing to do. I have salt and sand to pursue, my guy.
Yo, I think Zach is in. If you watch Derrick's season, you would see Zach, Zach Rancy Pants with the pink hat. I think he's in Hawaii right now.
No way. All right,
yeah,
we gotta.
You might want to link up with him.
That's a good dude. You would definitely, you would have some good conversations with him. He's a good guy.
Travis, real quick, buddy Drew in the chat says, Travis, my guy, the life by Drew on IG. He said, you're our biggest fan, loves you, and I got to see you on another show.
Derrick.
Cody?
I got something for you about this guy.
Oh no. What happened?
Have you ever seen, this dude was somebody before he went on Big Brother. He was interviewed by Barstool. Have you ever seen the video? Yo, everybody that's in here, you need to go check out the Barstool interview with Travis. Travis, I don't know exactly what it is. I got the link. Somebody watched it. I watched it on my stream. It is first class. It is one of the greatest. You know how Barstool, who's the guy with the long hair? Travis, what's his name?
Caleb Presley.
Caleb
He's
Presley.
A college student in America, man. That's
bro, he goes and does all the interviews. He literally interviewed Travis about his lifestyle and his frat, or is it your frat at Texas? Was it that, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Texas, bro. Yeah. It's a must watch. Everyone in here, it's a must watch. Everybody that's in here, look it up. Travis, if you have the name of it, if you know it off the top of your head, please view it. Guys, it's an absolute must watch. This guy is an absolute G, and you'll understand why I love him. I love this guy. It is so good. Derrick, you have to watch it.
No, dude, I'm a huge Barstool fan. I'm definitely checking it out.
Smoothest college kid in America is the name of the title. Not to toot my own horn a little more there, but
Oh my God, dude. The gift that keeps on giving.
dude, it's so funny.
Travis, we got a question for you. Did Travis give DX the iconic splatter hoodie? Did you give that to him or did you steal it?
No. I think it's a misunderstanding where I left the pink hoodie or the pink sweater in the house that kind of got swapped around. I saw Christian wearing it. I think Hannah wore it. And Derrick X, I guess, as an ode to the bromance there, he wore it under his blazer for the finale. So he was rocking it on the last day. So that was mine. But no, the splatter hoodie was his own doing. I don't know if he was like cranking out some splatter paint in his garage before coming on. But the thing's iconic. People are going to start.
Derrick X gave you a lot of shine, brother. He was constantly bringing you up. The painting. Did you see the painting he made for you?
Dude, yeah. Did you see like really small on the surfboard? It said like DFP, like Derrick's favorite player. I was like, oh my God, this guy, dude. I don't know.
What was it about that relationship? So what do you think you did to you had such an impact on him that in the jury house, in this, like, bro, he couldn't wait to say something to you. I don't know if you noticed that. Like, as a viewer watching, I was like, bro, DX loves Travis. So what was it about your guys' relationship that it lasted that long for him? You know, he had the painting. What do you think it was? Like, you guys just kind of broed out in that first week?
Yeah, it was so weird. It was, I mean, day one going into it, we were really vibing. Literally the first night, like live feeds were on, we're goofing with each other. We go up to play chess and start like setting the pieces up. And I was like, bro, I don't know how to play chess. And we just like share this huge laugh. And he's like, all right, man, I'll teach you. And we ended up like sitting there the whole night and just broing out. And it was literally that night. It's absolutely jumping the gun, especially coming from, the mouth of the guy that got evicted first. But I was like, dude, kind of look at him and he looks at me and we're like, just same time. Final two? Final two. We're just like, that was it. It was, I don't know. We were sold on each other.
Oh, he's a good guy. Awesome. What was your takeaway from tonight? You obviously had to watch tonight. Sorry, Travis. Couldn't be out at the beach, surfing.
Nuts.
What's your takeaway from the season? Because there's a lot that happened. I know you're not a fan of Big Brother, but this season was a historical season. Not only having an African-American winner, but having the cookout form based on a bigger purpose, accomplishing what they did. You're now part of that. What's your takeaway on the season as being a member of a historical season?
Yeah, I'd say again, to emulate, that historical precedent that will hopefully it's been set now and will continue on, because when it comes down to it, being shown and showing different characteristics, different personalities, different ways of life, creed, race, religion, whatever it ends up being, that's really important just to show that and to put that out there. So someone else, some little kid can see that, that looks like them or has religious beliefs or whatever it is like them and say, oh, I can do that. I can pursue something, bigger than myself. I can jump out at my dreams. And I think this season really well encapsulated that and delivered that message. So that's really exciting. Despite the fact that I didn't watch a whole lot of it, I would say I wish there was one or two screaming matches that happened. I wish it was a little more spicy, a little more entertaining. I think of the biggest jump that got my attention was Kylan's exit, and I didn't even watch that episode. I got pulled into it because I was doing my thing on Kylan's Instagram, commenting, "King Kai, I love you, man!" Like every time they post.
And people came after you. Yeah.
Yeah, and people were like, "What the hell, man?" After you said that.
What we told you, social media. How you doing? We said that to you right when you got out of the house.
Yep.
But
it's a beast. Such is the nature of the beast. But yeah, all around, definitely a legendary season. A lot of lessons to be taken away, and still really entertaining. So what an honor to be a part of it.
So let me ask you this: we got some stuff in the chat going off here. Travis and Derrick X for the Amazing Race. What would you say to that?
Derrick was like, hey, keep this on the down low, but I got my phone back already. Sorry to 2,000 people that's no longer down low to, because I'm sure he's just popping off right now. But first thing he says, after 3 months of no talking is, what are we doing next? So keep a lookout for it. Yeah, there it is. And,
when is the Circle's dropping exclusives tonight?
Yeah, this is big time exclusives.
I mean, we're just so okay. So we had Mason ask in the chat, Travis, would you come back for another season? I mean, is that the next move? Would you come back for Big Brother again?
I've been asked this a lot, and I think it boils down to, if they ever have an interest in and getting all the head ass, first evictees back into the house and doing their little jig together. Sure, man, I'll be there. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. But
the head ass.
The sky's the limit, man.
Hey, you never know. You never know. I mean, it could happen. What did you go back and watch Kylan and Xavier's beef, the altercation? What was your view on it? What was your perspective on it? What'd you think about that whole thing?
I think tensions were really high, and Kylan kind of just blurted out. Honestly, kind of to maybe take a shot. He felt so completely betrayed. He was like, what can I say right now to dig into Xavier a little bit, to maybe get him to spill some information or his feelings on what's going on. And yeah, I think it was probably in the grand scheme of things a little out of line. But hey, it made for good TV. I got a bunch of comments like destroying my ass on Instagram. So
you barely did anything and you get crucified. That's how it goes. Tis the BB fandom. Welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Amen. Yeah.
Tis the BB
Glorious.
Fandom. Cody, can you see that comment? Why don't you read that one? That's a good one.
Going live for this after party was a great idea, guys. We are drinking with y'all and having a blast. Yo, cheers to that. Cheers to everybody that's of age, 21 years old, obviously. And I apologize to everybody because I know I get up on this mic, and when Travis came in here, I was firing on all cylinders because I love this guy. And I got real close to the mic, and so I definitely blew out some eardrums. But cheers to that. Cheers to not having eardrums tomorrow.
Cheers to that. Travis, you do the whole surfer thing, but I could tell, I think most people can tell you're a very smart dude. And, again, you watched this episode tonight. You saw the first person of color win. Well, not person of color, an African American win. We've had a person of color before. You saw an African American win the show, and an African American in the same season win America's favorite player. What does that mean to you as far as someone, we are the white guys, we are trying to, society's constantly evolving. What should we all take away from this other than that's this trashy reality show?
Yeah, again, it just comes down to representation, having something, a message bigger than yourself to be working towards. I actually, and I'll go back on this statement completely. When I hopped out of the house, I was talking to Julie, and I think she brought up the surfer's curse, saying it's normally the long-haired, ditzy white dude surfer that always like hops out. And I kind of made a comment where I was like, yeah, that's why I was targeted, and it's so much more than that. It's, it's about actually outputting a message that helps people and encourages people that aren't always represented in this industry. So it's awesome stuff. It's super cool.
Cool.
Dude, well said, brother. Listen, we won't take any more of your time. We appreciate you coming on for a little bit. Everyone was firing off in the chat. Go hang with your friends. You're part of a historical season. You're part of the BB fam, even though you don't watch the show. But I'm sure we'll be talking in the future. I have a feeling we're going to see you on another show. If it's not Big Brother, maybe The Challenge or I don't know.
Whatever you're on, I'm watching. Period. End of story.
Yes.
I'm a Travis fan. Period.
Hey, we're going to try. Let's see if you get it right. Everyone else couldn't. The best way to do is exit out of your browser if you can. Otherwise, we'll still be seeing you while you're sitting there playing with your hair.
Roger that, my man. All right. Thank you, guys. Love you guys. Thanks
All right,
for
brother.
support.
Thank you for joining us, man.
Later, man. We'll see if he does. Look at Travis.
I know. Look at the transition, seamless. Obviously, Travis. I got a man crush on my guy, Travis.
He's a good dude.
I love this guy.
It was a great season. Great cast. Good season. There was someone, Kim, I'm sorry we missed your question. It came in right when he was leaving, but you said, since you were able to watch DX this season, do you think DX has feelings for Hannah? I can't answer for him. We saw the feeds. I think there was definitely a crush in there. I'll tell you guys, when you're in the house, it's easy to think that your feelings are more than just the moment because you're trapped in the house with those people, and that's the only people that you're currently around. So they become your best friends. They become your significant others. Right. And, when you get out and you have time to decompress, it can change. I have a feeling that Hannah and Derrick X are probably going to be just friends, but I could be wrong.
I think so too. I couldn't agree with you more. I think also the both of them, they had a very respect for one another because I think they both come from, families where they probably didn't want to come on the show to be in a showmance. They also didn't want to see their family, seeing them kiss somebody on national television. I think that is what set the precedent for them. And then when you take that aspect of, kissing, getting that really close, you almost form that friendship bond. And that's where I think their relationship went. I think they're going to be extremely tight afterwards. This comes from Anthony McGurn. Sorry for the typo in the last question. This is my final one. You two are the only winners to not get nominated. How did you do it? Was every week a battle to convince an HOH? How do I do it if I get on the show? Simba for life.
Yeah, Anthony.
That's an OG.
He's an OG.
He's been watching from the beginning.
He's an OG.
Love you, Anthony. Thank you.
I mean, our paths were kind of similar. And, and we only have 20 minutes left till we start the first interview. So I'll just say it's about building personal relationships, like I said earlier, where when it comes to a point where they have to nominate someone, you want them to look at you as a friend, as a family member, not an alliance member or not somebody you're playing with, because it's a lot harder to put your best friend on the block than it is to put an alliance member. So develop relationships based on real common interest. And I think it's a little bit more difficult for them to put you on the block, even if it's just as a pawn. Anything to add to that?
I think that if you're going in to play the game to not, like, you don't think about it. I'm sure the same was for you. I wasn't thinking each week, how am I not going to get myself nominated? Oh, I want to get to the end of the game without getting nominated. That wasn't a thought in my head. It was, I'm going to get to the end of this game. I'm going to form these relationships that make sure I am in the best position possible in this house. And then all of a sudden the end of the game comes and you're like, whoa, I've never been nominated. And then you start to roll with it, but it still doesn't affect your game. You don't play the game to not be nominated. You play the game to stay in the house and get to the end. My biggest thing was always making sure I had numbers. Even if I was nominated, I knew I would stay against almost every single person in the house. And the only person that I didn't think I would stay next to would have been Enzo. And so I made sure my relationship with Enzo never got viewed. Derrick and I on 16 was a little bit different because obviously I was nominated like 3 times. But so that's what I'll say. You don't play the game to not be nominated.
No, it's true. You went to get to the end. If you happen to do it and you're not nominated, it's icing on the cake. Last question for this segment, and then I want to wrap up the show because I do think we got to give our final thoughts on the season. This is from Grady. Do you feel like Kyland had a better path to victory if he aligned with Hannah and Tiffany instead of X? Well, hindsight's 2020. Hannah and Tiffany were going to go after him as well. He ultimately had to win the next competition, which he didn't do. So either way, if he had stayed and didn't win, Hannah and Tiffany probably would have sent him home as well. So I don't think it would have made a difference. What do you got for it?
I think Kyland, we said it when we were talking about Kyland. Kyland needed to win out in order to win the game. And so even it doesn't really matter who he was aligned with. They would have done the same thing to him if they had the opportunity to. And so Kyland's fate was pretty much drawn in if he didn't win the competitions, and he didn't win the competitions, which is why we saw him go home.
So final thoughts. We know that Xavier wins unanimously. They gave their speeches. They did all their things. He wins 9-0. Tiffany wins America's favorite player. My final thoughts before we transition, because Cody will give his. Then we're going to start the questions because we're going to be doing our first interview with Azza in less than 20 minutes. Okay? Here are my final thoughts. The moment when it really hit me, obviously, throughout the season there were moments, but tonight was seeing Xavier and Tiffany holding each other in the final 2. And that's the image you're going to see when it comes to Big Brother 23. Seeing the winner of Big Brother 23 and the America's favorite player both being African American. It's really easy, I think, for Cody and I to take for granted that in life, we see a lot of things where it's a white person and we just take it for granted because we can see ourselves in those roles because the person playing that role, whether it's an actor or someone on a reality show, is someone who looks like us and it inspires us. And something Xavier's friend, who he had on, said that I thought was incredible was Black Panther. There's not a lot of black superheroes. So for Xavier, even though it's just only Big Brother, Xavier and Tiffany are going to be superheroes for a lot of young kids out there who are African American and had never seen someone who looked like them win the show. So I'm extremely proud of them. I'm proud of Big Brother that they made this happen. I'm proud of casting. And although I wasn't on the season, I'm proud to be part of this fraternity, and I am so happy for them. And I'm so happy that we can have a good game because Tiffany and Xavier were both excellent players, in my opinion. And to have 2 good players win because they were great players and have this added benefit to it, I think it's extremely historic, and I think it's something that 20 years from now we'll still be probably talking about. Yeah,
totally. I think that is an incredible point to make. There was a lot of things that were going on in this season. There was a lot of stuff. There was a lot that was talked about on social media. There's a couple points I want to make. One, I was seeing a lot of things going on social media. Reverse racism isn't a thing. So everybody that was saying that on social media, please stop saying it. It's not a thing, okay? Another thing. The cookout wasn't targeting people that weren't black because they disliked white people. So stop, like, let's just call it what it is. They wanted to make sure they had a black winner, and they succeeded in doing that. You may not like how they did it. You may love how they did it, but they did something that was extremely difficult. 6 people started, 6 people went to the end of the game. It's a very difficult game. That's a very difficult game to do that. And so whether you like it or not, give the kudos give credit where credit's due, and credit totally needs to be given to the Cookout. And I think, it was a great season. There were great players that I'll tell you right now, whether they were on this historic season or not. Tiffany is a great player any season she plays Big Brother.
Agreed.
Xavier's a great player any season he plays. Hannah's a great player any season she plays, and so is Kai. Whether you like the whole situation with Kylan, I know it put a bitter taste in people's mouth, but he was a great player. That's 4 people in the alliance, right? So call it what it is. These players would have been great no matter what season they played on. Yeah. No offense to the 2 that were excluded. No offense to the 2 that were excluded, and I hope it's not taken that way. But this was a great season. It was a great winner, and quite frankly, however they had to do it, they made a black winner happen on Big Brother US in 23 seasons, and it was long overdue. And so it is something that needs to be handed credit to. You can feel whatever your opinions are. You want it. You didn't like how it was done. You didn't like this. Nothing was called out. Nothing was that double standard. All the nonsense that gets thrown out on social media. This is an incredible season. This was an historic season, and there are great players that you cannot discredit in this season.
Yeah.
So call it what you want to call it, but let's continue to grow and not be divided. Because what I didn't like that I was seeing from this season was that there was a little bit of division, and ultimately this is a show that everybody loves to watch. This is a show that everybody bonds to watch, and so it was a great season. I like the season. I think Xavier is a great winner. I think Tiffany is a incredible America's favorite, deserving of being a winner. Not only America's favorite, deserving to be in a winner. And so I hope we see people from this season back on in the future. So
I agree. Well said. Congratulations to the entire cast. Congratulations to the Cookout. And a special congratulations to both Xavier and to Tiffany. Job well done. Yep. Okay, now the fun part. We started around 200.
So that's where I'm going to cut it for the live show for all of you guys that are watching back. You just saw the live stuff. You saw everything happen right here. That's probably going to be where I wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right.
Should I stop the recording here? Do we need any more recording? Because we're going to be switching over to the Zoom. Probably can stop it right there, right?
Oh, the Zoom is going to... Oh, so on my end, it's completely different. So, yes.
Yeah, but I'm saying, do you think I should stop the recording at this point? We'll keep it going.
Recording.
Okay.
Stop recording.
So I'm stopping the recording. But that said... Now it's the fun part. We started with around 2.2 thousand people. We've actually gone up to 2.3 since we started in a 2-hour stream. So thank you so much for sticking with us. And I know some of you may be doing it for us, but the real reason you're doing it probably is because we're going to be doing these interviews live. Nobody else is doing it. You're part of it. You're part of the process. You're going to be involved with it. It's going to be very quick. It's going to be one interview right after another. So with these extra 13 minutes that we have, we got to develop some quick questions, and we're going to start with Azza, right, Cody? That's who we're starting with?
We're starting with Azza.
So you and I are going to talk about, this is exactly what we would do if we were off air. So with Azza, what are you thinking for questions, Cody? Guys, sound off in the chat as well. I'm thinking, obviously,
listen,
I
want to keep it super light with Azza.
Yeah, she seems a little rough this season.
Listen, Azza, this is a brutal game. Brutal game, Big Brother.
Yep.
You could see it on Azza's face. She was drained. And I'll tell you right now, being in the final 3, she's doing interviews right now. It's even more draining. So let's keep it light with Azza.
First question, maybe, we heard that you would take Xavier to the end. What was the rationale behind that?
Well, we heard her rationale, so let's not do that. Let's not be repetitive. We heard her say her rationale. She felt like Xavier was more of deserving of being at least second and not getting third. She didn't want to see someone like Xavier get third place over someone like Derrick F.
Right. So what are you thinking for the first question to open it up?
Azza, in your own words, what was Big Brother 23 to you? Keep it, kind of bland, and then we'll dive into a little bit specific. You writing it down?
Yep.
I'll ask that one.
Okay. In your own words, what was Big Brother 23 to you? Guys, I'm looking in here for you guys as well. So, 2. Oh, why did she take out Hannah? Why did she make the decision to take out? That's a great question.
Great question. You asked that one. So we were doing these right beforehand, before pre-jury. It was like they're pretty cut. Like they stick to the 10 minutes, and normally they would give us a little bit, but I don't think that's going to be the case tonight.
No, they almost seems like they're running behind a little bit because Sharon was just starting. Apologies to Sharon that we didn't get her on. We ran out of time, and she had to hop to interviews.
We got to try to do.
So the second question I'm going to say is, why did you decide to take out Hannah over one of the guys? That's question 2. I'm looking here. Does she regret her HOH? Does she regret? A lot of people are saying, does she regret her HOH? That's kind of a Hannah. That's kind of a Hannah question. A lot of people saying is, do you still have beef with Derrick F? Will you still be friends with Derrick F? What do you think
Great.
What do you think your relationship will be with Derrick F outside the house?
Yep.
What do you think your relationship will
with?
So what do you think your relationship will be with Derrick F outside the house? Great questions. So you know what? Well, let's do one more. We'll do 4 for each person, and we'll fill it in with either questions from the, if we have time, questions from the chat room, or something that maybe evolves from what they say, because I think 2 questions for each of us to ask.
Yeah.
For the timing.
Yeah.
So I need one more question from you guys. Real talk. You guys are crushing these questions.
Yeah, you guys are. This is awesome.
Those are phenomenal. Those are better questions than we've asked. So,
yeah, and the thing is, we're coming up with but you guys are here. You're right here with us.
This might be a good question. How does she feel? Tell me if you think. Cassie asked this. Ask Haza how she feels to be the black woman. To be the black woman to make it the furthest in the house on Big Brother.
Okay, that one, and then there was another one that I think we can ask her about, because she was literally standing right there. And we can ask her about the Kylan Xavier altercation, because she was literally standing right there. So that could be something that we touch on.
Okay, how does it feel to be the... That question, I got to figure out how to frame it, though. So how does it feel to be... the last female member of the cookout? I almost feel like that's kind of like a sexist question a little bit. I don't want her to be offended by that,
Because I gotta be honest with you, I don't think she cared like that.
Yeah, she lost. Yeah, I'm going to scratch that question. We need a 4th question. So what was the 4th question? How about, what do you think about the Kylan Xavier altercation?
Yeah, the Kylan Xavier altercation. So that'll be Q4, and for like, she was there. She was sitting right there. It was happening right in front of her, What did you feel in that moment? Did you feel like...
I think we should stick with 4, because I'll tell you what.
Let's go about singing.
Right after that, we're not going to have time to come back with these guys and do questions. We're going to have to hop right into Xavier. Mm-hmm. So I think with the last 8 minutes we have, we try to bring out those questions too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to go from Azza. Azza's going to go back out, and then right after it's Xavier, right?
Yeah.
Are we going to have any time in between? Probably not.
I mean, it says 10:30, 10:40. We may be popping one into the other.
So Xavier, I think you just got to ask the generic questions with him. Some of them, how's it feel to be the...
I mean, first of all, we're going to go into the whole beginning, because now he's won the game. He's talking to 2 people that have won the game. I'm jacked up to talk to him. We got to tell him that we picked him to win, obviously. Yep. That's how we started off. Hey, bro, thank you for making us look good. I'm going to let you say it.
Guys, give us the questions for Xavier. Yeah, we'll hit it up. I mean, I don't care. You can say. Does she think Xavier? Let's switch the questions to Xavier, guys.
Xavier.
Actually, by the way, probably could get an interview with this guy tonight. Guess who just texted me, guys? Actually, I'm gonna say who texted me, but I'm gonna ask him if he wants to do this. But I just got a text message from Kylan. Kylan just text messaged me and said, "Yo, it's Kylan. Talk to Tara. We had interviewed her on the show. Reach out to you when you get a second." Yeah, we'll talk. I'll talk to Kylan after the show. I'm gonna see what's going on. But yeah, Kylan just hit me up.
Sure.
We'll see what happened. But Kylan just text messaged me. Kylan just text messaged me. He must have got my number from Tara when we did the interview.
Cool.
So I won't respond to him right now because I'm on the show, but could be some breaking stuff. Maybe we do an interview with him as well. Give him a chance to.
We're going to be on here. Question
so-
for X or DF. Why were you guys so big on Tiffany playing selfishly when you both wanted Alyssa to be the 7th out? You guys see. All right.
What do we got? We need some questions for him. We got 6 minutes. I mean, they might be late, but
Well, this one was a little bit of like a why were you so big on Tiffany playing selfishly when you both wanted Alyssa to be the 7th out to keep the
we
guy
can't go
safe?
there, guys. We can't.
We don't want to go there, guys. We don't want to go there. Listen, these have to be questions that are not, we're not going to throw daggers at them because that's just not what we do.
How about, so we got to start with a good question. So I just think, honestly, overall, what does it mean to him to be the first Black African-American winner of Big Brother?
He's probably gotten that question. We're not the first one to ask, right? So
Yeah.
you want to try to hit him with stuff that like people aren't.
Okay, so what do we got then? Because we're running out of time. We definitely didn't time management this one good.
Not even close.
We're like, and you'll let me know when we get the email from Big Brother because they'll email you and say you're up, right? Or do we have to be in that room?
It says each contestant will be there at their own Zoom link, which you will join at the time you speak with them. You have 10 minutes with each one. Oh, wait. It says, please note the contestants are scheduled below in no particular order.
Okay, so we don't know who's first. Great, super.
Well, then why did they give us the times?
They give us times, but I did think it said an AFP winner.
You know what? We got to go with Xavier. What has this season meant to you?
All right, so yeah, so the first one you'll ask.
Yep. What has this season? Because, and I'm going to say.
Do you think I'm going to ask this one. All things Dory coming through. Do you think you could have won? Do you think you could have played the same game or won if you had not been in the cookout?
Great question. I'm going to ask him because, like he just came on, his brother had recently passed. And so what did this season mean to you? Because I know you had the cookout and there was just so much more to this game for you. So what did season 23 mean to you? Oh, I do love this question. I want to ask Xavier this. So what was the stuff about Derrick F starting the cookout? Is he the one that started it? Because I felt, something like along the lines to get a little playful with him. Because he wasn't doing anything to talk about Derrick F in those final 2 chairs. He almost let him say that and just roll with it.
Okay, starting the cookout. That question that you said that about his brother and stuff, that's going to be question number 1, right?
Question number 1.
So question number 1 will be what you said. I didn't write that down.
I didn't write it down. I have it.
Okay, the second one's going to be, do you think you could have played the same game or won if you weren't in the cookout? Third question will be, what was the stuff about Derrick X starting the cookout? What was your take with
Derrick F, yeah.
You didn't really harp on it too bad.
What was the deal with DF saying he started the cookout? Please elaborate on that.
So the final question's got to be, Ali, shout out for this one. What do you think of Kai's apology on live TV to you?
Yeah, perfect. Okay. Do you think? Did you like Ozzy? Did you talk? So you know what? And if we have a second, let's ask Xavier a little bit about Ozzy and the cuddling and all that. Be like, hey, what was that about? Was it just like you needed somebody to you needed someone to be with? All right, so I'll ask that one if we have a second.
So we're probably not gonna have time to get questions for both. We're gonna probably have to wing it, which you and I can do.
We will wing Derrick F. So let's make sure we got Tiffany's down.
Okay, Tiffany, guys, give us some questions for Tiffany, AFP here. Switch it up, keep it going. You guys are the goats. If we have time to, some people ask it, all of them, how do you feel about Derrick F? So first question for Tiffany is, how do you feel about Derrick F saying he started the cookout? That's got to be. She started it.
Yeah, Tiffany. Yeah, Tiffany. Q1. You know what? The first question I want to do, you asked that as question 2. First question I'm going to be, what does it mean to you that America voted you as America's favorite player?
Okay.
You do that Q2.
Yeah, so you're going to ask the first question.
Yep.
I think the next question would be, I'm trying to think of how to phrase it. I know a lot of people are going to ask it. Do you think if you weren't part of the cookout, you would have won the season?
Yeah. And then I want to ask a question about, did you feel like, you had this mission for the cookout to make it to the final six and having the first black winner? And did you feel like it almost was at your expense of not winning the game? Do you feel like you were the person that fell on the sword? Like, I want to ask that question.
So isn't that kind of the same question?
Wait, what were you saying?
Do you think if you weren't part of the cookout, you would have won the season?
Okay. Yeah. So that's your question number 2?
Question number 2 is, how do you feel about Derrick F. stay? So you're going to ask the first question about having America vote for you. What does that mean to you?
Yep.
I'm going to ask, how do you feel about Derrick F. saying he was the one that started the cookout? You can ask that question about the cookout. Do you think you would have won? However you want to phrase it.
Okay.
Do you think that you would have won, or how do you think you would have done differently if you weren't part of the cookout playing for this bigger mission? Yep. Obviously, she doesn't regret it.
Yeah.
And then we need one more for her. I'm going to the chat for this one, guys. Given how much of a competitive threat Alyssa was, does Xavier... Oh, wait, that was an Xavier question. Got to scroll down. You guys are popping off questions. Somebody give me one more good TIFF question. Let's go here.
Yeah, we got to roll.
Okay, we're going to go. We'll come up with the 4th question. Guys, stay tuned. It might be a few minutes because we got to wait for Big Brother to bring us in the room.
Yeah.
So it's going to
say
we'll be right back. But we will be back with our first interview. Stay tuned. All right, guys?
joining as well too. I'm very humbled. I can't believe there's so many people watching. So shout out to everybody. Love you guys.
Yeah, we appreciate
Absolutely.
that, Ozza. We appreciate that. So we're going to jump right into it. Obviously, we just kind of want to hear what you felt Big Brother 23 was.
Cody, it's saying no sound.
I
Is
know.
there
No,
sound?
I got the audio
Okay.
on now. I got
There
the
we
audio
go.
on now.
There we go.
So Ozza, what was Big Brother 23 to you? How would you describe it in your words?
Big Brother 23 was putting others in front of yourself. I came in the house with a plan. I was going to start a female alliance. I was going to find the Codys. I was going to find the Derricks, and I was going to make sure to grab them by the balls and make sure we did not get to final two. That was my goal. Came in with the Kingslayers, and then I met 5 specific individuals whom we all felt we were going to have each other's back. And what I felt was going to be an agreement very quickly evolved into an entire strategy, making sure to put other people's game before yourselves. That's what I have to say this season ended up being about. What was weird is I live my life by the following words. You haven't started living until you start living for others. I thought I could not do that here in the Big Brother house. But what was weird was how I got to final 3 was by doing that exact thing. So it was a very humbling season, awesome, and I'm so happy to take part in it.
Well, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you came right out guns blazing and said, listen, I went in there to try to find the Cody and Derricks and grab them by the balls, because that's actually what my next question is going to segue, because guess what? Me and Cody are now officially your big brothers, right? So we gotta ask you those tough questions.
Right, you're right.
You said you were going in there to grab these guys by the balls, and yet you won HOH, and you had Kylan and Xavier, who are kind of similar to me and Cody, and you went after Hannah. Ozza, why did you do it?
I did, and I felt so bad because she reminded me of my little sister. But I had in week 7, I was already starting to thinking of my position once we got to 6 and where I would be. I knew that Kylan was probably going to come for me, and I needed to make sure to surround myself with people whom I could take to final 3. Now, Tiffany and Hannah were very close, and I knew I couldn't get in that way. But I knew I had a very close relationship with Big D, and I knew that X had shown himself throughout the season to be one that puts the alliance before him. So I approached the final 3 with them. It was strategy on my part. And with that final 3, right before the 6, Kylan comes to me and tells me, I'm not going to come after you. Can you not come after me 5? And can we have a ceasefire till final 4? You never say no to deal. I said yes. Unfortunately, end up winning HOH final 5. And Hannah was the only person in that house I did not make a deal with. And unfortunately, she had to be my target. I never wanted to be the person that on my first HOH, someone coming in wanting to work with girls, take a sister out, but I had to do it because I felt it was best for my game. And it is what got me to the final 3.
Hey, listen,
Fair enough.
I think the answer that you just gave right there was so insightful because it shows that you did have a big grasp. And I got to be honest with you, we were watching it and we were like, Ozza, why would you take out Hannah? But you did have a grasp and you did have a plan. And so I love that answer because it gives us a little bit of insight into what you were going through on a deeper level. And so I love that answer and I respect it because, hey, everybody is a Monday morning quarterback when they're watching people playing Big Brother. And you did get to the final 3 and you were one question away. You were right there. And so you did a great job. We were so impressed by you in that final competition, too. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Question number 3. This is, it's a little deep. We watched how it kind of played out this week between you and Derrick F. And you guys were super, super close, right? So it was a lot. It was a little rough. So what do you think your relationship is going to be like with Derrick F. now that the game is done and you guys are outside of the house?
Outside the house, most definitely. On a personal level, Big D is still my best friend. I have been I've had my ups and downs with Kylan. I've had my ups and downs with Tiffany in the house as well. But I've always been able to separate that. I know that in this house with the pressure cooker environment that is, it's a game. So outside this house, I'm always going to be, that's still my best friend in and outside this house. At the time, I felt like I need to do what I felt was necessary, which at first I said, okay, you're free to have your opinion when he said some things about me. But then I stood up for myself because I knew my value. I knew what I contributed to this game. And I knew every single member in the 6 that got to 6 wasn't carried by one person or another. They all brought their own piece to the piece to the puzzle.
Totally.
You got it. You nailed it. Okay. There was something that was shown on the show, the live show. You might have seen this. little altercation between Kylan and Xavier, and we all got to see it. And I can tell you right now, I was on my toes. I didn't know what was going to go down, but no one had a better seat than you. What was your perspective on it? What'd you take away from that? Who'd you think was in the right? What was your feelings on that whole thing? Because I know it was scary for you.
Yeah, so when it happened, I heard wrong. I thought, because he said, I thought I heard Kovu, which is X's cat. X has a cat named Kovu.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, he talking about his cat. Cool. And then X was like, you talking about my nephew? I was like,
Right.
oh. I don't know what was said or what was heard, but one thing I've always learned is when men's have their little thing, mind your business. So I sat like this, ate my popcorn, and I minded my business. My job was to stay and look pretty, and that's what I did.
You are such a sweetheart. Like, you are absolutely incredible.
No, it was, we knew it was getting tense. We were looking at it. We were like, where is this going to go? How long Big Brother is going to let it happen for?
Yeah.
But glad it all worked out. Glad everyone was safe for sure.
Yeah, so there was another thing that we were seeing a lot of. We saw a lot more of it in the final three. There was a lot of cuddling between you and Xavier. What is the word? Because, I mean, listen, we've all been in the house. On my first season, I was single, so I knew I liked that companionship.
You had a couple cuddle sessions?
Quite a few, okay? Quite a few. My second time, obviously, in a relationship, no cuddling at all. So what was that? What was that with Xavier? What are we talking about here?
Well, okay, so I came in the house and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I told people before coming in the house, I said, no penis, not happening, not gonna happen. Nope. No showmances, no nothing, no. So I knew what I came in when I came in the house. Now, Xavier had the same idea, actually. He did not, he was focused on the prize. He was focused on that. I think we definitely have a natural attraction to each other, but we always still wanted to make sure that we wanted to play this game as best as we could. At Final Three, I mean, there's not much to do. So yeah, we did cuddle.
It's nice. It feels good.
It feels good.
Yes.
It does. It feels good. And Xavier's a great guy and a very good looking guy as well too.
Doesn't hurt.
Doesn't hurt at all. You know, it doesn't hurt at all. So I actually am known in the house to be a cuddler for the streets. I call Big D my chocolate cloud. I cuddled with him. I cuddled with DX before he left. I cuddled on and off with X too. So I am an equal opportunity cuddler.
Girl,
but yes,
you're preaching, because I was an equal opportunity cuddler as well. Okay, so I love you even more for that, and I appreciate you for that.
I am. Big D just didn't really want to cuddle with me in the last 7 days. So I was like, all right, I don't got my chocolate cloud. Let me go to my chocolate tree.
Well, listen, we got one final thing for you. We're going to get away from the game for a second, because although you didn't win tonight, you are a winner, because you may not know it yet, but what you and the Cookout accomplished this season is historic. It's never been done before. And I'm not talking about the cause that you had. I'm talking strictly about numbers. No alliance has ever got together on day one, a 6-person alliance, and said, we're going to get to the final 6 and been able to accomplish it. Mm-hmm. Besides what you guys accomplished as a mission, as a Black woman, that in and of itself is historic. But also from a game perspective, Cody and I have both said the Cookout is now the greatest alliance of all time. What is your takeaway from this season? I know it's a lot, but you in this first, hour of being off the show, what do you think you're going to take away from the season as you being Azah?
I first just want to say that I can't believe that I got to take a part in this. That's one thing. The other thing I have to say is it's very easy to be a backseat driver watching Big Brother. I can watch and I'm like, oh my gosh, why shouldn't she do this? Why didn't she do this? Of course I'm going to lie. Of course I'm going to backstab. But when you come in this game, they call it a game of chess, but instead the players are actual human emotions and faces. And it was just so difficult for me to manipulate and do all of that. It was just so difficult. And I adjusted my gameplay and decided to strategically give a transparent gameplay with just being honest, letting people know whether they're my target or not, letting people know where I lied in the house. I'm very happy that I can take away from this that I played a genuine game. I played a game that was transparent. People always knew, what to come from of me. And still with that transparent game, I still was part of the most covert alliance in Big Brother history. I'm happy that I might not have been the complete social queen or the master manipulator or the competitive threat, but I was my genuine self. And in my genuine self, I got to final 3 and almost got in those final 2 chairs. And it just goes to show you that any single type of person can win Big Brother. Last thing I'm going to say is a letter that my dad gave me this. My dad wrote this to me in my HOH. He said that the race is not for the swift, nor is the battle for the strong, but time and chance happens to all. So I'm happy that I might not have been the best or the first in many things, but this chance was still given to me, a girl in Maryland, and I got in this house just by being my genuine self, and I'm very proud of myself for that.
Oh,
As you should be. As you should be. Very well said. Azah, you're an amazing person. You represented you and yourself very well. We're happy to welcome you to the BB family. Thank you for joining us here on the Winner Circle. Enjoy the rest of your night and enjoy getting back to your family and your loved ones. Congratulations.
So thank you. Such a pleasure, Cody. Such a pleasure, Derrick.
Yeah. Great
Take
talking
care,
to you,
Azah.
Azah.
Bye.
Okay.
I love the energy. Y'all bringing it.
We got you.
Y'all ready?
We're in.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Winner Circle. And for the first time this season, let's all say to Xavier, officially, welcome to the Winner Circle, my friend.
Yes, sir, baby. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be amongst two greats, man. Y'all some legends.
You're in that category now, brother.
100%.
You're in that category now. Listen, we want to, before Cody asks you the first question, we just want to put it out there. We have this new podcast. It's called The Winner Circle. We started this year. And the first week of our show, we decided Cody and I were going to review the cast. We were both going to give our pick to win this season. Okay. It was you, my man. Both of us.
Both of y'all. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Appreciate the love.
Yes.
On the first season, you made us look better than we could have ever done. So we appreciate that.
Job well done, my friend. We'll get right into the questions.
Yeah, right into it, bro. Obviously, just this season has been historic on so many different levels. You've been incredible. You're an incredible player. And so we just want to know, what has this season, Big Brother 23, meant to you?
It meant everything. I came in with, my own individual reasons for wanting to win, to keep a promise to my brother. But I also came in with the mindset of, hey, if I don't win, I want to do everything in my power to make sure Big Brother season 23 crowns its first Black winner. And nothing was ever going to stop me from doing what I could to achieve that goal, and to not only achieve, the cookout, making the final 6, but then to be crowned the first Black winner in BBUS history is it's everything. And it's going to be, I hope it's a season that people enjoyed watching and a season that everybody remembers.
It's a historic season. We can tell you that right now. We're going to get into it. And before I forget, our condolences go to you and your family of your loss of your brother. couldn't imagine what that's like, but you conducted yourself in a manner that I'm sure your family, your entire family and your brother are looking down and you're very proud of what you did. Not only because you won, but the way you carried yourself. That's what's important. So next question, because you talk about the cookout. We know that was a top priority for you, right? But let me ask you this, okay? If it wasn't for the cookout, do you think you would have still fared as well as you did? How do you think the cookout affected your overall gameplay? Do you think you'd still be in this position if you weren't part of the cookout?
I still think I would have played a good game. I'm a student of the game. I still had some ideas for what I need to do coming into the game, but I would be remiss to say that I would end up in those final 2 chairs without the cookout. I think no member of the cookout makes it to the final 6 without the other 5 members of the cookout. I needed every single one of those people to end up as the winner of Big Brother, and I'm never gonna take away from their importance to my game. I still think I would have played a strong game, but maybe that's something we can find out in a later season. But for this season, I'm not in final 2 without the cookout.
Yeah, I mean, you're a class act. That was a classy answer. I'll tell you this: we've said it constantly on the Winner Circle. The cause that you guys put ahead of the game was great. I do think that you would have been great on any season that you played. You're just the way that you handle yourself, the way that you make other people feel. You'll see it when you watch the season back. The way that you make people feel is not an easy thing to do, and you had a great grip on it. And that kind of person will do good any season of Big Brother. So I think you would have been a great player, period.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Right into question number 3. This was a hot take. Super hot take. Came in the final 2 chairs. Okay, and Derrick F was also saying it in his DRs. He said he started the cookout. What's your take? You were very respectful, which obviously, because that's your boy. And so we appreciate the respect that you gave to him. But what was going on there? Well, give us a little bit of insight.
Should I talk more? No, I'm gonna give it. Big D started the cookout. I want credit for the name. I'll let him go ahead. He rounded.
I gotta. What about Tiff?
Tiff started it.
Tiff was a captain of that ship. Yeah, you about to find out when you watch the show back.
Oh,
Tiffany's a beast.
Okay, but I'm talking about the starting of the cookout. I'm talking about the starting where I know Derrick came to you. Derrick F takes it. I use this example almost like, when you're in a room and you're all looking at each other and you feel like the alliance is brewing and then one person puts their hands up and just says it first.
Yeah.
Is that, am I right? Am I wrong? So you didn't want to say anything as your boy, but I'm going to say that.
So y'all know I'm a lawyer. So
we know.
Choose your words wisely.
I'll plead the 5th.
Okay. All right. We'll plead the 5th. Well, by the way, you're not on Big Brother anymore. You can do whatever you got to do. But listen, I respect that. Right now, you're almost a millionaire. So I get it. You're in a good place. You're like, listen, I'm not going. I'm staying right in the gray zone.
Whoever started, I end up in the chairs and
hey, listen,
I don't care who started it.
That's what matters.
We did.
We're gonna go to the argument. I'm sure you've already been asked about it multiple times. It's a moment that nobody expected. I don't know if it's ever been done on a live show like that. I think All Stars was the last time we had something similar like that. What was your interpretation of that night? And more importantly, what was your take on the public apology or the lack thereof tonight from Kylan as far as what he said? Because we all heard what he said. Mm-hmm. You were right with what you heard. What was your take on that?
Kylan, I'm sure he thought what he said would be perceived a different way, or he said it in a different manner from how I probably perceived it. And I told him after the show, I was like, look, you and I can sit down, we can have a conversation man to man, and we can hash it out. I don't think Kylan's a bad person. I don't think he intended for what he said to come across the way it did, or if he did, I'm sure he's remorseful of it. And I'm not going to sit here and bad talk Kylan, because I don't think Kylan's a bad person, nor do I think I get in those final 2 chairs without Kylan being a member of the cookout. I wish him the best. And, we had an incident, but as you guys both know,
it happens.
That's right.
I'm not going to wish him nothing but the best. I'm going to wish him nothing but the best. And hopefully we can have a conversation, work things out, and at least come to more of an understanding.
I think you guys.
I hope the best for both of you, man. That's a good road to take.
Yeah, I think you guys both definitely will. This is, a little bit of a fun question. We just had Oz on here. Okay, we just had her on here. In the final 3 week, we saw a little extra. That cuddling action. Listen, I know, trust me, I'm going to be the first one to say it. I love me some cuddling. I love me some cuddling. But what was the deal? Was it just, you're just cuddling? I mean, Ozzy is an incredible woman, just one of the most genuine people we've ever seen on the show, to be honest. But what was this cuddling? There was a lot. It's just, we were a little cold. We know it's cold in that house.
It's
So
very
what
cold.
was going on?
I think that was the bulk of it. We were just, body temperature is a great way to stay warm, and we were just simply looking out for each other, trying to stay warm. It's nothing else. Or if it is something else, that's none of y'all damn business.
All right. You heard it here. You heard it here first.
We've been saying it. We had Christian. We had a bunch of the pre-jury house guests on before you guys. And we're saying there's a lot of big brother babies, a lot of marriages that come out of this. So we never know, man. We never know. But you got to go. You're a busy man. We want to give you one final question, okay? Big brother, a lot going through your head right now. This was a historic season. Cody and I have both said it. The Cookout, statistically speaking, the best alliance of all time. Nobody's accomplished what you guys were able to do. Minus the cause. We're not even talking about the cause yet, right? Just talking from a game level.
Yep.
Statistically speaking, you guys are the best. What is going to be your biggest takeaway? I know $750,000 is going to go a long way for you and your family, but as you reflect back on it right here with us, what's running through your head right now? Because I'm sure it's a lot. I've been in that shoes. We both been in those shoes.
For me, it's the fact that the 6 individuals who had never met each other prior to entering this house came together with a vision in mind and stuck to that. Through thick, through thin, we stayed together and we made it to the final 6. And the only alliance, to my knowledge, that's come close to that was Cody's alliance in season number 22, the committee. And so, to kind of be able to stick to that, and just from a game perspective, is pretty incredible. And we made history.
It's so incredible.
You definitely did.
I think people that play the game like you that were in the alliance only can really attest to how difficult it is, because we felt like you were the mediator. You were the guy that was sitting down brokering like the blow-ups that could have, crumbled this alliance, and you were just kind of talking everybody off the ledge. So kudos to you, man. You had a heavy, heavy hand in the historic season and in the Cookout getting to where it did, and then you walk away with the $750K, becoming the what is it? The
biggest winner of all time monetarily.
So you're going down in history. You're going down in history books. 9-0 vote. So congratulations to you, bro. Really awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Business trip for you. It was a business trip in there. It was a business trip for me. That's how you kind of approached it.
Yeah,
you did it the right way. Dude, welcome to the Big Brother family. We're all part of it. We're proud of you. You represented us all well. Go enjoy that winning. I can't wait till you get back to your family. And we'll probably talk to you on the outside, but congratulations again. And man, I can't believe we're saying it's the whole title of the show.
I know.
The Winner Circle, Xavier, the new member.
What's up? Thanks.
We gotta get a jacket. We gotta get a gold jacket or something.
We gotta get like a leather jacket, a gold jacket. We gotta get something.
I'll get you the gold jacket, but I want the wig and glasses though.
Okay, there you go. You can be.
All right. All right, Xavier.
There you go.
All right, you take care, brother. Good luck. Good job.
All right, brother.
Appreciate it.
We're live. We're in here. We're live.
Guys, here it is. The one you've been waiting for. America's favorite player, Tiffany. Congratulations, Tiffany.
Thank you.
Crushed it this year. Absolutely crushed it. The chat is going nuts.
Chat is going absolutely crazy. They're saying no sound because I had it muted. I switched the scenes, but we're live here. You're rolling with us as we're doing it. We have America's favorite with us, people. We have Tiffany here.
Yes, like we say in Detroit. What up, though?
Absolutely. I'm so happy for you. You did a great job. Cody, are you going first question?
Yeah, I got the first question. Tiffany, obviously, you know, you were incredible this season. So many people love you. But what did getting voted? Were you surprised? Like, what is being voted as America's favorite? What did that mean to you on the stage? Hearing you were final two and then getting that vote.
I mean, it meant everything to me because to win the game, you just need the vote of the jury. But to be America's favorite player, you need America's vote. I had no idea how I was being received by America. I was crazy in that house. I said all kind of off the wall stuff. I woke up every day like, you canceled today, right? So,
Cody, they're still saying no sound. Just
No. It's just taking a side. It's in here. I could see it on my end, so I know it's coming through.
Sorry to cut you, Tiffany. I want to make sure they're
okay.
hearing you. They're flipping out right now. Like, oh my God, we can't hear our queen.
oh.
No, Tiffany, you are Queen Tiff.
America loves me.
You're Queen Tiff.
Queen Tiff.
Yes, adjust your crown.
Did she get to that question or was I rude and I cut her off?
No, she was getting through. We'll let you hit on it again.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, for America to have that love for me, I was in a state of shock because I just thought they loved Derrick. Like, I love Derrick.
Yeah.
To know that America loves me, I'm like, wow, that's really dope. Because I woke up every day in the house like, girl, you canceled today. You remember?
Yeah. Well, we did say you might be in a surprise about them loving you, but you also might be in a surprise about if they love Derrick. We'll just leave it at that. We'll let you find out on your own. But, speaking of Derrick,
Yes.
my man Derrick F, I'm talking about here, okay?
Oh, I know. Listen, I know Derrick F wasn't winning. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes. You heard it here first. This is live, people.
Listen, Derrick F.
Yes.
You were a lady tonight. You were letting him have his moment.
Yes.
But what did you think about Derrick F claiming that he started the cookout?
Derrick F went around to everyone on day one, like we did not already know. And he established the fact that we were working together. It was unspoken. When I walked in the house and I saw 5 other African Americans, I was like, listen, I know I can't target y'all or America's going to come after me. I think we all felt the same. Derrick did take it upon himself to go around and say, we're all working together. Xavier put the name on it. He named it the cookout. We all had an understanding, but I don't think we really got into play how we were going to move together until I came up with the master plan. It doesn't bother me. Everyone needs to make their contribution. That's Derrick's contribution, that he went around to all of us and said, hey, we're working together.
Well, that's an exclusive for us because, honestly, I just checked Xavier and was like, oh yeah, he did kind of sound like, no, it was Tiffany. So I'm glad you're clarifying that because he has been getting a little hate for that. So, but I do agree with you. It's one thing to go around and say, hey, let's work together. It's another thing to implement a strategy that can actually be executed and work. And I'll tell you right now, I don't need to hear from anybody. You were the strategist in that group. You were the one that came up with the plans that allowed it to be that successful. So that needs to be recognized because it's not easy to do. We've done it. It's not easy to do. You should be extremely proud of yourself.
Thank you.
Tiff, you are absolutely incredible, which brings us to question number 3, kind of along the lines of the cookout. And now, obviously, I want to start it with, I know you don't have a regret with putting the cookout before your game because it was a bigger cause. And we know, obviously, Derrick and I can't speak on the bigger meaning to it. We know you guys did it. But did you think your game would have been different if you weren't playing for the cookout? And did you feel like if the cookout didn't exist, you had done enough to really put yourself into the final 2 and win the game?
That's tough. I do think that I was playing a good game. I think I would have played a good game on my own. I don't know if I would have made it to final 2. I built a lot of relationships, close relationships with people in the house. I don't think my name was being said for a very long time. So I would have liked to play a little more ruthless. You guys, I threw a rogue vote week 1. I tried to flip the house week 5. I wanted to really play some big brothers. So I would have played a different game, but there was a lot banking on the game that I played. So there were a lot of things that I could not do. I also do not know if I would have made it to the final 2 without the cookout, but I probably could have made it to the final 2 if Kylan wouldn't have kicked me out.
Ooh.
Tiff, I will tell you this. I feel more confident saying it about you than anybody else in the house. You had 100% just set yourself up for getting to the final two. I was like, there's two people that I feel like are going to fall on the sword to push the mission ahead. And it would have either been you or Xavier. And unfortunately, it was you. You fell on the sword. You went home first, and then Xavier ended up winning. And I'll tell you what, I could snap my fingers and go back, and I could see you 2 weeks later winning the finals because you were incredible. I just want to give you all the kudos in the world. So I think I respect what you guys did completely, but I think you were very deserving of winning the game.
Thank you.
And listen, and you're going to hear it when you get out. Cody and I were running the numbers. I still think if it's you and Xavier in the final two, I think you got the dub. I'm going to be honest with you because of the jury members. I think you get the dub. It's not even about who played better. I just think your jury management was better.
I tried to play it down to him in my pitch, like, hey, they respect you. They don't like me. I'm not going to, they're not going to vote for me. But I don't think he was going for it. And he, I really wanted to convince him that he would beat me, but I do think it would have been a toss up. And considering that they did not know about the master plan, when I got to jury, that was the first thing they asked me. It was like, who came up with the plan? And I was like, I did. They were like, oh, we were definitely voting for you.
We saw it. We said it too. We said it on the winner circle.
You would have threw that out in your final speech. And
that's why they kicked me out.
Yeah, and Xavier was a great player, very deserving winner, but it could have gone either way. So listen, we talk about strategy. You were very self-aware in there. You were always talking to the camera. And most of the time when you were talking to us, you were right. You knew your position in the house. You knew what was going on with other people. You're a super fan of the show. That's why everyone loves you. So you've seen other players play, other strategists play. That's kind of the role you played this year. You were the strategist. Initial thought, just speak from your heart. Based on the game you played, where do you think you rank amongst some of the great strategists that you looked up to, that you emulated when you went in there? How do you evaluate your own gameplay now that it's over?
I hope I'm in top 10 at least. I definitely respect your game. You were someone who I watched your season, you and Cody. I definitely respect you. You guys were my favorite duo. So I'm like totally excited to be talking to you two. Dan Giesling is my favorite player. Not that he's from Michigan or anything like that, but Dan is just like awesome. And I remember when Nicole told you were playing the Derrick game, you were like, hey, dude, we gotta get her out of here.
She's gone. She's gone.
I remember that.
Yeah, no, you're not gonna say that in this house about me. So Vanessa, I love Vanessa. Vanessa was a strategist. I have always looked up to her and have hoped that I could strategize in the way that she did. So I definitely I always try to remain humble, but to toot my own horn a little bit, I do think that my strategy was one of the best strategies to be played in the game.
The master plan is something that you are now going to see on season after season after season. I'm gonna be like, we need to have our alliance, and everybody needs to branch out to one other person, and that's who we're gonna have to be tight with. And everybody's gonna be like, yeah, it's gonna be great. We're gonna do it. And you're gonna also see how a ton of people on seasons in the upcoming years are gonna fail at it.
Yeah,
because you guys did it great, you implemented it great, and a lot of people are gonna try and fail. And so kudos to you guys for succeeding.
Get that chessboard out. Get that chessboard. I brought that chessboard out day one.
Yeah, no, you did a great job. You should be super proud of yourself. We have no other questions for her, right? I mean, we could go all night.
I could talk to Tiffany for forever.
But
Tiffany, give you the final word.
Come back anytime. Listen.
No, we're gonna talk after the show because this is a podcast going all year. We got a lot of episodes to fill, Tiffany. We'll be calling you. But
final words. Thank you, America, for voting for me for AFP. I wouldn't have it without you guys. I was totally loyal to America. America was my best friend in the house. I had nobody else to talk to the way I could talk to America. I am honored and privileged to be here. I thank the Cookout for at least allowing us to get to 6. There was only one winner of the 750, but all 6 of us were winners because our goal was achieved. So thank you guys for having me.
Well said. This is why you're made for Big Brother. I think we're going to see you back, but listen,
I hope so.
You are now part of the Big Brother family.
You guys go with me.
Listen.
As long as we're part of the master plan, I'm okay with whatever you got.
Exactly. No, listen, you did great. You should be super proud of yourself. We're proud of you. You're part of the family with us now. Congratulations on a great season. Hope you get back to your family and friends soon. I'm sure they're extremely proud of you as well. Thank you for taking the time to hang out with us here on the Winner Circle.
All right.
Thank you,
Take care, Tiff.
We are back.
All right, we can see it. So listen, we have a little bit of a change up here. We're waiting on Derrick F. They said we got to come back in about 10 minutes. That was about 4 minutes ago. So we're going to be on for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to go back over there and wait because we're basically in a queue in the Zoom where we can see it. But so far so good. What are you guys thinking so far?
Guys, I saw it with the mute. The problem was
they didn't miss anything. Tell them right up. That was just us setting it up.
You didn't miss anything. I was setting it up, and I accidentally switched the scene from the Be Right Back so that I could line up, make sure our cameras were working good. You guys missed absolutely nothing. Just want to make sure you guys know that.
Yeah, we were just setting up the cameras.
You didn't miss anything from Queen Tiff, dude,
she crushed it.
I feel like I could have talked to her for forever.
Yeah, she crushed it. And someone just asked in the chat, why do you think Tiffany won America's Favorite Player? You just saw why.
Yeah.
Articulate, smart. You just want to give her a hug. She did great. She did great. She knows what she's doing. Plus, she knows the game. She's a great strategist.
Yeah, I mean, incredible strategy.
She had a couple. We pointed out during the season. She had a couple spots where she herself admitted she had a couple of hiccups where she got into some beefs with some people, and it stuck with them. But I think overall she played a really, really great game, and I meant what I said. Where if it was her and Xavier in the final two, I don't know how it would have went. I don't know. It would have been a great final two to see, right?
Yeah, it would have been an incredible final two to see. Yeah. The only thing I hope is that, obviously we think Xavier's a very, very, worthy winner of the game. It was just crazy. I would have loved to have seen that Titan battle of Xavier Tiffany, because I don't want to not give Tiffany the credit. She was such an incredible player. And, obviously there was a point in the game that I was watching and I was like, I don't know, man. I don't think Tiffany's going to win because of those conversations. And I don't know. Do you think that those were the reasons why she went? Because,
I don't think that was the sole
HOH
reason.
was an issue.
Yeah, I just think that they also saw her as a great player.
Yeah.
They just saw her as a great player, and they're like, listen, one less player. I think Kylan wanted to honor the agreement with Xavier. Xavier was threatened by Tiffany, as he should have been. She's a great player. You don't want to go against other great players. He knew eventually that they were going to take the shot at each other. So he just took the shot before her, and people have said numerous times if she wasn't part of the cookout, things might have been different. I think she answered it very well. You don't know. It's a coulda, shoulda, woulda thing. You just never know. But she was playing for multiple people when you're trying to get multiple people to the end,
right?
That complicates things for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously they all have a ton of respect. So, we're asking these questions because we just want to get their perspective. They have a ton of respect for each and every member of the cookout that played this game with them. And so they're obviously they're going to give credit to the group that essentially got them to the end. But I genuinely feel like Tiffany on any other season implements that strategy in an alliance that she probably handpicks, and I think she would be a great player on any season she plays.
I agree.
I agree.
No, it's been great. How are we doing so far, guys? Have we done enough for you guys to subscribe?
Guys, scale on 1 to 10. Give us in the chat right now. Give us a 1 to 10. If you hate us, give us a 1. If you're a troll, give us a -1. If you love us, give us a 10. But
dude,
I want to know what you guys think.
What time did we start at? 11:30. We start 11:15.
Bro, we've been on for 3 hours.
3 hours. I'm jacked up still though.
How could you not be jacked up? We got the lights. So we have both of our lights blasting in our face.
I'm sweating.
We're ready to go.
Alcohol.
Drinking.
Dude.
Are my teeth red?
Nah, you're good. We still got to. And by the way, we're going to put this up for anyone because there were a lot of people asking. We're going to put it up on YouTube after. It'll be all segmented videos. So if for some reason you didn't catch it or you want to go back and watch it again, we're going to have these up as individual videos like we always have. So this was just something for you guys who wanted to join us on the stream to hear it firsthand, unedited. And I would assume you guys can let us know, but I think we're the first interviews out there.
I mean, I'll tell you right now, and you could tell why Tiffany won America's Favorite. We had our numbers kind of right around, 26, 27, 2,800 people. Tiffany came in and went up to like 3,400.
Yep.
Because it was like, Tiffany's coming on.
Yep.
We need to see Queen Tiff.
It was great. It was great. It'll be interesting to see how many people stick around for Derrick F. We're going to leave this room.
I got to be honest with you. You know, people are going to stick around for Derrick F because they're going to want to hear. They're going to sit here to wait.
What do you guys think? I was talking to Cody as we were switching feeds because we have to go 2 different software programs, which I'm surprised this is working as well.
This has been awesome.
Yeah.
I.e. the EP, bro. Come on.
You're crushing it. You're the producer. You're on the soundboard. Tiffany kind of gave Derrick F some credit in saying like he was the one who kind of went to everyone first and said, "Hey, we're doing this, right?"
Right. She did. So
she's the one who held it together, but I was surprised to hear that.
I mean, I wasn't really surprised to hear that because I feel like we talked about what we felt his role was in starting the cookout. It was he's the one that said something that, yeah, okay, they all essentially felt it. Like Tiffany walked in, saw 5 other black players in there and was like, I'm not targeting a single one of them. And every other person was feeling the same thing. And then Derrick F said something to Xavier. Xavier started talking. So it's like, okay, Derrick F. But, I mean, I can't wait to hear his answer. I can't wait to hear his answer.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. He's our last one for the night. After Derrick F's interview, we'll end it. Give us like 3 or 4 minutes to switch back to this software because it's a different software. It's Zoom for them. We're using something different. We'll come back on here. We'll wrap things up. Maybe we'll take a couple more questions, and then we're going to call it. Why do you have a puzzled look on your face right now?
Somebody
like
goes, Cody/Derrick, at 10:20 a.m. the first morning in the house, Tiffany tells cookout members to pair up and not meet together. She was directing the cookout from morning one.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, it's a lot for her right now. She's going to process it. I promise you this, guys.
Tiffany's also classy.
Yeah, more will come out. When we stopped the recording, was joking with her, and I was like, hey, I was saying, oh, everyone was tweeting me when you said I was cute on the feeds, and we were just joking. And she's like, oh, I already got a best friend in Derrick. So she loves Derrick F. So, listen, the honeymoon phase
Was
is
she
on
talking
right
about
now.
Derrick F or Derrick X?
Maybe it was Derrick X. I don't even know.
Because she's super duper tight with Derrick X.
I don't even know. I don't even know. But
Tiffany's someone, I'm telling you right now, Tiffany's someone you could just chill with.
I agree. No,
I said, Whitney, when you go out, like Tiffany, I guarantee you Tiffany is just like, you hang out with Tiffany, you're going to have a good time. Like whether you're sitting in the living room, whether you're hanging out, like Tiffany's someone that would be a lot of fun.
So we're 1 minute out. Guys, we're going to be right back with Derrick F. We'll interview him. We'll come back. We'll wrap out the show. You guys have been amazing. Stick around. Derrick F. interview coming up in about 2 minutes.
Yes, sir.
All right, everybody, we're back with our final interview for the night. This man needs no introduction. Derrick F. Derrick F., welcome to the Winner Circle, my man.
Derrick and Cody, thank you so much. You guys are my motivation, okay? Y'all helped the brother out. Listen, I'm just the black version of you guys, okay? Keep that in mind, all right?
Yeah, man. Dude, you were such a fun, you're a big personality. I love it. You were a lot of fun. One of my favorite clips of you this season was when you were like breaking it down. You're like hands up, you're dropping to the ground, you're like twerking a little bit. I was like, Big D, drop it low, girl. Get down there.
I was trying to have fun. Listen, I'm not a big competitor like you guys, okay? So I knew exactly what to do. My bad ass knew I better entertain these people. I better cook for them, make sure they eat good. And I better sit here and be a therapist for them this season. And then tell them, hey, I'm a threat. Y'all need to send me home, but y'all still didn't send me home. But guess what? I'm going to send y'all asses home. And I don't know why they did it. I don't get it. I literally said it out my mouth multiple times.
I mean, dude, you're obviously you're a ball of energy. I mean, being in the house, obviously everybody's on the outside. Everybody is watching. They're micromanaging everything that's said, everything that's done.
Of course.
But you're fun. Your friends were, I just want to say this. It was happening. Your friends did a little thing on Twitter of you. Derrick Sleeps, was it called?
Yeah, they made your profile picture on Twitter of you napping, just so you know.
No!
Yes.
Show them.
Yo, Adam and Laura, am I saying that right?
Lauren and Adam are done when I get home.
It happened.
Done.
We shouted out your podcast too on the Winner Circle because you always mention it. So, it's all love. It's always all love.
Regular show, baby. Go check it out. That's my brand. I do that with my best friend, Adam. I love him. That's what I do all my silly stuff at. That's where you can really see who I am even more. So you can't sit here and say, oh, this kid just put it on the act. No, this is me. I will do every damn thing to entertain, okay? Because I love talking, as you can see. Y'all give me a mic. I'm going to be on y'all show next. Okay?
Hey, man,
all right, so let's get down to the meat and potatoes, right? Let's do it, Cody.
All right, let's do it,
question number one. So first of all, congratulations getting to the final two. I got to be honest with you. We were waiting to see if you went to the final two with Xavier. What would be your speech? I got to be honest. You didn't go too far. I was like, I didn't know where you were going to go with a lot of your conversations, but you got no votes. So what did that feel like? What was that like? I mean, getting to the final two, you can get no votes, whatever. You still made it to the final two.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I said it before. I don't owe nobody nothing and they don't owe me nothing. I wasn't expecting any votes because here's the thing. I'm a man of my word. Me and Xavier made that final two on day one. Xavier did a lot and I did a lot. I don't know how the season was edited. I'm only going off of what you guys are asking me questions on, but there was a lot of lying and manipulating and things that I did behind the scenes. I just didn't voice it all the time because, I was more entertaining, but that was a part of my game. But I knew going into that, listen, this man deserves it. Even if I had a damn key, I would have turned it for him and said, Xavier win. I just knew that I deserved second place. I felt like with me putting the cookout together, Xavier coming up with the name, the cookout, us working together, being there emotionally for everyone, scheming and lying and manipulating and, babysitting people. I had to babysit people to make sure they don't have conversations with each other, especially when I was a have-not. I'm like, oh, wait, Alyssa and Claire's going to bed? Here I go. Things that people probably don't know because it never showed. I don't know. But the thing about it was that I knew going in there, the jury was already feeling like I was coasting or, I was carried and whatnot. If you think about the greats, you think about Cody and Derrick. You guys both had to do your part to get somewhere. You think about Cody and Enzo. They both had to play their part to do something. Cody was more of a competitor. Enzo was more of a social man. You got to think about that. Me and Xavier had a perfect duo to get where we had to get done. But because I wasn't gloating or saying that in my goodbye messages because of the cookout and I was putting people before myself, I feel like the cookout members who left probably felt already, you're just coasting. You're just playing like a friendly game. You're not really doing much. And I'm like, baby, I must be doing enough to make my ass to second place and take some money to go along with it. So I don't know. I feel like I did enough, but I wasn't expecting to win, and I'm okay with that. I'm not greedy like that. Maybe this is not my season. Maybe I need an all-star season, and then I can come back and win and don't got to worry about nobody else.
Well, dude, I love that you're a straight shooter. I mean, that's how it's got to be. That's what we love about you. You're going to be transparent. And that's where I want you to clarify first, because just so you know, you're just getting out.
Yes.
You said that you started the cookout. We talked to X a little while ago. He said that you kind of went out. We talked to Tiffany as well. She said you went around to everyone.
Yes.
A lot of America thinks that that Tiffany started the cookout.
Jesus.
What do you say to that?
I love this guy.
Summarize what really went down, because tell us where you're coming from. This is your opportunity to say, hey, this is where it's really at.
Yes. So I'm going to say this, Derrick and Cody. I think you guys understand because you did this show. You've been a part of this. I was more the funny guy. So a lot of things they're going to show is what? Me being funny.
True. Yeah.
I would say day one, I had about Hannah, Kylan, Xavier, and Azza already slept in my room, where I said, hey guys, and I told each and every single one of them, hey, we're going to work together. We're not going to target each other. Let's first say this is going to be an agreement. If it works out better, we'll make it an alliance, because we were all a little bit conscious of, we're all African Americans. Are we really about to sit here and send everybody else home that's not an African American? But we had to sit down and realize we're just doing exactly what everybody else do, because every other season, all the white people work together and they send out sometimes the minorities, the older people, the women, you know. So we're not doing nothing wrong. We're just 6 individuals that want to work together. But that, I would say that first week is when I had that conversation. And then the day we were in the kitchen, it was me, Xavier, and Tiffany. And Xavier's like, yeah, we got to come up with a name. We got to come up with a name. And I'm like, all right, what should it be? And he's like, you know, maybe the barbecue, the cookout. I'm like, oh, the cookout. And we all agree with that. But I put all the individuals together. Now, what happened was I almost forgot about Hannah. You know, I was like, oh, Hannah's one of us. Oh, okay. We saw her. You know, I almost forgot about Hannah. So Tiffany reminded me, but I already had a conversation with Hannah. It was just one of those things where I forgot. But I put all of them together. Now, think about it. In Big Brother history, what normally happens? We're all going to get together, powwow. Woo!
Yep.
We didn't do that. So it's going to be hard to sit there and say, well, I didn't really see Big D bring everyone together and do that. I did it one by one, but I didn't need to do that powwow, because that was the mistake that people make every season. When you see individuals go, what happened? What happened to the damn slaughterhouse? They all slaughtered each other because we all disappeared to go upstairs to go have a slaughterhouse. And I said, they all gonna damn slaughter each other. And I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna make it happen. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, unfortunately, I mean, I'm glad that other people said that I did start it. But you know, the fans it is what it is. And you guys have
to cover it on the regular show, right?
Yeah. You wait, because I'm about to get them together. They thought I was worse on TV. Now I ain't got no filter. Now I'm at the door.
You are who you are. Well, I do. I love that. And obviously you're going to come out, you're going to know the Big Brother fandom. It is what it is. You deal with the good, you deal with the bad. Because
you know, I'm from Philly, so
I know.
Philly. I don't care about that.
I already know. Wrong one. Definitely the wrong one. So, but hey, listen, it is what it is. D, what are we on question 2? I don't even know.
No, we're on question 3. So listen, this is your opportunity right here. You know the question you want to ask it, Code?
Yeah, I got the question.
Go for it.
So I thought it was hilarious, bro. And it made you so much more real, how you could just say it in your speech, talking about yourself. You're like, and I knew I couldn't win no damn competition. So I loved it. So let me ask you, what competition would you have won if they threw it into the Big Brother house?
What were you looking for?
What were you looking for?
I was looking for sandbags, and I was looking for strength competition. Now look at my big ass Derrick. You know what Derrick, you know.
Hey, but let me ask you this. You're a fan of the show. When have they had a weightlifting competition in Big Brother?
I don't know. Julie did the whole new beginnings. I thought Julie was going to throw some new damn fucking comps up in here, and she did some shit for me. And I'm like, damn, where's the heavy stuff? Because I know I would have bodied all those dudes. I flipped 530 pounds and 555.
I saw that.
I thought we were going to do something where it's like, put a bucket of water above your head and see how long you can hold it. Like, I was waiting for some stuff like that. But every time I walked out there, I'm like, I got to put this damn tutu on, spin around, and you expect me to be okay? I am hyperventilating, baby. I can't even breathe.
I will say.
Go ahead, Cody.
I will say
this. The egg competition was one I should have won. I was so close. And I know you guys felt it because I was like, fuck, you know, I said it loudly so the whole world can hear it. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse, but
I don't know either. But we're live, so we're live.
We're rolling.
D,
what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say 2 quick questions, and I want to give you an opportunity to explain it because this is what it's about, right? We're going to go one tough one, one positive one.
All right, let's do it.
You were very critical of Tiffany this year. You wanted her out really, really bad.
Yes, I did.
Then you were critical of Azza. And even from the beginning, you were really gun-ho about guys working together. What was that for you? Because some people took it as Derrick F don't want to work with the women other than Azza. But what was it for you? Here's your chance to explain, because you definitely, you were very honest about it. You wanted Tiffany gone weeks ago. So here's your opportunity. Lay it on them because they're listening right now.
Absolutely. So let me explain this. I am gay. Okay. So I love the women. If the women would have beat me, I would have loved it. I was all about the women. But here's the problem. Here's the thing. Xavier put in a lot of work. I put in a lot of work. Kylan did put in a lot of work. And we were able to cross those dots of what we done. And we were able to say, yo, you did a lot. I did a lot. The girls were already making moves to make sure they get the guys out. But guess what? Guess who they said it in front of? The gay one. Hey, girl, let's have gay talk, girl. Yeah. They already said it. So I'm going to be like, oh, I have a final 2 with Xavier. And I do like Kylan. So I knew that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put these 2 together because they're winning the most comps. Then out of nowhere, the girls started winning because you have to think about it. Each week, I was like, yo, is the girls gonna step up and do something? Are they gonna step up and win something? We were throwing comps. Xavier was throwing comps. So, and Kylan couldn't play. And then on top of that, I just couldn't win a damn comp to save my life. So we're looking at the girls to do some work. And they weren't, but they picked it up towards the end. But you got to think about it. There was so much work. You know how it is when there's so many people in that house. There's so much work that we have to do, so much manipulating. And we were a part of the alliances that the girls weren't even a part of. So we were doing that work too. It was nothing sexist. It was nothing. First of all, I love women. I literally protect women. If women could have won, I said the girls, I told the girls, y'all should have an all girls alliance. There's only dudes here. I told them that. But I feel like I wanted Tiffany out because me and Tiffany had bad blood. Whatever you present in front of me, I'm going to react to that. You have to understand, from week 1, me and Tiffany been, clashing. And I felt as though, hey, Tiff, we come from the same background. You're from Detroit. I'm from Philly. Like, we got that type of street mentality, but she took it as because she wanted to put on a persona of, no, I'm not like that. That's not me. And I'm like, girl, you don't got to do that with me. Like, we cool. And it just would not mix. But at the end of the day, we knew we had a business relationship. We knew we were here for a bigger goal and we were able to work through that. And we also were able to amend. Me and Azza, unfortunately, in the beginning, I protected her. We talked a lot of game. We were best of friends. We looked out for each other. But when we get to the end, to when I need her the most, this girl gonna tell me, I think I'm gonna take Xavier for personal reasons. And I'm like, girl, is it because you're too damn cuddled up with him? What's going on? Because I sent home the man that I actually liked and would have felt like kind of would have had my back. If not, we all know how Kylan is. But I sent him home. I was like, what do I look like picking a man over my friend? My friend said that she would have my back no matter what. So when the time for me asking you to have my back, you looking at me like, I just feel like the things that you said just made me feel some type of way. Well, Miss Azza, baby, you asked me for the truth, and I'm telling you what I feel. Now, if you want to sit down and us to do resume, we can't do that until we watch this season back, see what they put in here, and then I can sit down and tell you this is what I do. But I can't tell you the date and time and what happened. I can't tell you the times that I babysit. I can't tell you the times I had to lie to Alyssa. I can't tell you the times I had to lie to Cliff. I can't. It's too much. But I felt like in the beginning, because I was a part of a lot of social alliances, I was doing more work delivering the information to Azza and then telling her, hey, you should make amends with Kylan. Stop saying you want to get him out. He'll take you to Final 4. Hey, me and Xavier have a Final 2, but you should make a Final 3. So I'm opening the door for her.
Why were you telling her that? Why were you telling? So that was my biggest question. You guys had the conversation, and Azza, you sitting in the room with you and X, she goes, Big D, what would you have done if you won the final HOH? Why can't you just lie or be like, I don't know, make a joke out of it and not answer the question?
Cody, brother, let me tell you something. I said it.
You muted yourself, Derrick.
You muted yourself, I think, D. You muted yourself.
Sorry, my fault. I said I was going to be honest with Miss Azza. And I thought because we have a friendship that she already knows what it is. So when she asked me that question, I was like, girl, why are you asking me this question? Knowing the man I have a final two with, I'm not going to go against. That looks stupid because I made that deal with him on week 1. Me and you have no deals. We have a friendship. But when she asked me, yes, Cody, should I have lied? Yes. Should I have lied about telling her about the final two? Yes, but she was a friend. So I was trying to show her.
Trying to be straight up.
Yeah.
Trying to be straight up. I'm trying to be here for you, but you're going to get the real because guess what? My friends at home, they get the real. We from Philly, we tell the real no matter how much it hurts. And then guess what? If it hurts your feelings, I'm sorry. That's how I feel. But guess what? Here's another thing, Cody and Derrick. If you didn't see, Xavier and Kylan also felt the same way, that Ozzy was not doing a lot of work. But did I snitch? No. So now I'm taking the heat from, I guess, all the women in America right now.
No.
I thought so, but I'm just saying I'm taking the heat, but I'm just making it clear.
Well, listen, I want to end on a positive note.
Appreciate the honesty from you and the clarity on it, honestly.
But let's end it on what's really important, because two things can be true. And this was a historic season, and you are part of what Cody and I are now calling the best alliance in Big Brother history.
Thank you.
You're part of that. And you were a factor of that. It took 6 people to do it, and you did it. So
thank you.
You take us out. What does this mean to you? You're now part of history as far as Big Brother's concerned. What are you going to take away from this season?
You know, what I'm going to take from this season is the memories. Like you guys know how that feels.
Yes.
You know, these guys gave me things to do every day. I knew every day I'm going to wake up and I'm going to entertain these motherfuckers, because if not, they're going to send my ass home. I ended up on the block multiple times, and I knew, hey, I ain't going to go home because they ain't going to send me home. Even when I tell them, send me home. But the things I'm going to remember the most is just the laughters, the games we came up with. This group of people were so honest about talking about their sexuality, their background, what they're into. We were open about everything, where no one ever felt, and I've always said that, hey, if you feel offended by something I said, please tell me. And no one ever said that. And I think all these women can say that, and men of the house. I made sure to, hey, are you okay with me saying this? And I think with this season, being a part of something so big in history is amazing, and something that's going to go down in history, and something that I'm excited for Big Brother players to reference in the future, where they're like, yo, we should be like the Cookout, or hey, we should be like the Black Ops, the final two, me and Xavier and Derrick. That's what I'm excited for. Just like I referenced the Root, Cody and Enzo and stuff like that, and that's what I'm excited for, just to have that feeling. And I'm going to look at the positive no matter what. It's like family. We showed that with the year we had last year with the Black Lives Matter movement and everything, people had this stigma that Black people want to kill each other, that Black people want to fight each other and things like that. We were able to show that we could put our differences aside for a bigger cause and show you that we're not always going to fight. We're just family. And the way that we talk to each other might sound aggressive, but that's just how we talk to each other, because we talk with passion. But we're always going to look out for each other and have each other's back. And we put other people before ourselves. When people come in Big Brother playing selfish, but we actually thought about somebody else. That's why when I went into that final two, I went in knowing I don't expect a damn key from any of this jury, because I told them I was sending them all home.
No, dude, listen. At the end of the day, you got to be proud of your own game. You ended it eloquently. That was a perfect way to end it. Listen, we want to welcome you to the Big Brother family.
Thank you so much, Derrick.
Back home to your family and friends, and enjoy this new life now, because you're part of the Big Brother fandom. So get ready for it.
Now, when am I coming back on the show? Because I got more.
Hey, we'll have you back for sure.
I'm gonna see you. You said you do the video game, so you're gonna come in. Now I'm a big time gamer, so you step into my world.
Apex, Call of Duty,
Call of Duty. I don't mess around with. All right, I'll see you on the. I'll see you on the sticks.
I got you.
All right, my man. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, I love you guys. You guys are my brothers.
Take care, buddy.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
All right.
All right, guys, we are back. That was Derrick F.
Whoa. I am on fire right now from that interview. There was a lot. I'm sweating.
CBS was yelling at us in the chat. You guys couldn't see it, but CBS like, wrap it up. And we're like, dude, we can't get a word in. How are we going to wrap it up?
Bro, I lost track of what question we were on. I was like, what's this question?
Yeah, it was a lot. What was your takeaway from, just a takeaway in general from the night? We're going to wrap this up in a couple minutes, guys. But first off, again, before we lose it, because it's still 2.7 in here, we appreciate you guys sticking with us all night. We hope we did you proud. That was tough. That was a lot of work for us. I'm sweating. I need another drink.
I need food. I'm hungry.
But if you guys want to like and subscribe, put notifications on, that's how you can say thank you. We'd really appreciate it. But what'd you take away from the night, Cody? We covered a lot. It's almost four hours.
This was absolutely incredible. I got to be honest with you. Doing it live like this, covering it real, authentic. Like you guys, what you see is what you get. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great ending to an awesome season, historic season. And so I'm looking forward to maybe talking a little bit more with Tiffany. They got to deal with a lot of stuff. Maybe give it a little bit of time, and then I'd love to talk to them as well.
Yeah, listen, I think we covered the gamut with everything. We tried to hit the areas that you guys want us to talk about. I threw the question in there about, with Derrick F, with Tiffany and Azza. It's tough for us to do that. These guys just got out of the house.
I know.
So we do have to put a little bit of a coating on it, but I think it went well. He was very responsive to it. I was judging off of him as well, and he looked ready for it. It doesn't look like that was the first time he was asked about it tonight, because he was kind of already fired up.
Yeah.
So I think it went well. I think it was positive responses from everyone. What's your guys all thought? Give it a rating for the night, right?
Yeah, rating for the night.
1 to 10.
Rating for the night.
I finished mine, man. But I am hungry.
I'm hungry, bro. You know that late night. Taquitos are going in the oven tonight.
No, I got Domino's downstairs. Chicken wings and a deep dish pizza.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
It's about to go down. It's about to go down for sure.
What about the Kylan?
So listen, I thought about it. I'm not gonna hit him up right now. I think he hit us up because we had been talking to his family and friends when we did and you had offered to speak to him outside the house. I don't think putting him on a feed right now is the right thing to do. Totally. If he wants to come on in a week or so, or even tomorrow, I don't care. We'll definitely give him that opportunity. But to kind of jump journalism him, where I'm like, hey, get on a FaceTime with him and he says something. I don't like that. Yeah, it's kind of. If you guys are mad at me, I just can't do it. He was texting me not to be on the show, but because he wanted to talk.
We have reached out. So what you guys may not know, we reached out to his to the friends of his that were handling his social and said, listen, when he comes out, we would love to talk to him. And so we definitely want to give him that opportunity just to talk.
Thank you, Gabby. Again, by the way, thank you.
What Xavier said about Kylan is exactly how I feel. I think Kylan was in a moment. I think even if you think he might have thought about it, but it was, all right, what would I do if I get cut? Which you're not really fully there. So, it is what it is. Can't take anything back that you ever say, obviously, but you can only, learn and grow. So.
Yeah, no, it was overall, I thought it was great. I think Xavier was an interesting conversation because I got a good read on people. I try to anyways. He was so monotone. He's very by the book, even with us. We were before we started let's go, champ. And he was like, thank you. Thank you very much.
We were like, yo, champ. He goes, coming in hot. I love it.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Coming in hot. I love it.
Came in here, did the job, going home. That's it. So, but overall good. I think it sucks that there's still 3,000 people in here almost, but
it's how it goes.
I think we got to wrap it up.
We got to wrap it up. It's 3 a.m. here on the East Coast time. So everybody, if we have any East Coasters in here, holla big time, because you guys have been with us, from this. We're going to get them out. I got to be 100% honest with you. I'm not going to edit this up tonight, so it's going to get edited and put out tomorrow. So we will have this out tomorrow at some point, spliced up with the interview separate for the full recap. How are we going to do this? Are we going to do the recap? Am I going to cut out when we brought on Whitney and
no, leave that all in there. It's part of the recap.
That's all in there.
It's all in there. Recap is going to be all that. When we go into interviews, the interviews will be separate. So if you want to watch this again, you could watch the whole live stream because it'll be up there, or it'll be segmented, compartmentalized, however you want to call it, where you'll be able to go right to whatever interview you want to go to.
Yep. So,
but we hope we did you proud. We tried
Hey.
to ask interesting questions, but also get to the bottom.
we
of
got
some
a
of the
lot
things
of
that you
East
said.
Coast people coming in the chat right now. So big shout out to everybody
Big
that's on
shout
the
out for
East
sure.
Coast at 3 a.m. with us
On a Wednesday.
Hump day.
Dude, people got to.
We're out here drinking. Like, I can't see you tomorrow.
No, absolutely. Listen, we're good to wrap it up. We felt solid. I mean, we.
Yeah, take us out, D. Take us out, bro.
Listen, we appreciate you for the last time this season on Big Brother. the finale. We appreciate you joining us on the Winner Circle. Listen, we got to do that again now. Nice job, Cody. Take us out, Derrick. Sneeze.
I was like trying to hold that. I was like, don't do it, dude. Don't do it.
No, couldn't even get it out. But listen,
right,
we're going to keep coming to you. We got to still watch the Survivor episode that aired tonight. We're going to do a recap for that. We're covering Survivor, Celebrity Big Brother, and we'll be covering some outside topics, pop culture, things like that. So stick around with us. We got a lot to go. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate you sticking with us here on the Winner Circle all season. We will see you very, very soon.
Thank you, guys. All right. I'm going to end the stream, Bo, and we are